Crystal Padilla claims the father of her child, James Kern, falsely accused her of abuse to Child Protective Services. She is suing for her attorney fees.
Ms. Padilla, this is your ex-husband. You've been divorced since when?
Our divorce was finalized in November of 2004.
And you have one child together?
Yes.
How old is that child?
He's now 5.
I'd like you to keep your voice up, Ms. Padilla, because I have difficulty hearing you. Not because there's anything terribly wrong with my hearing, but I know that you may be a little nervous. You're speaking softly. You have to speak up like me.
No problem.
Great. Make believe you're yelling at him.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Your lawsuit alleges that Mr. Kern filed false allegations against you with Child Protective Services, forcing you to hire an attorney. You want your attorney's fees back and the expenses that you incurred as a result of defending that litigation. Mr. Kern says he had legitimate concerns over his child, and that's why he made the report. Okay? Do you have other children?
One.
How old?
Same age. A little older by a few months.
Who does that child live with?
Her. I didn't know of his existence till long after he was born. It's quite a story.
Well, it's quite a story, but it has an age-old beginning.
They're 6 weeks apart.
Another 10.
And I assume you've done the appropriate DNA testing and everything else? Paternity testing?
Correct.
So that while you were married, you fathered another child. Is that right?
No, it was before I was married. Before her and I got married, her and I were together. She told me she had an abortion, so we never talked again. Me and her got back together. And then after, actually the day my son Cameron was born, I get another phone call from her saying, oh, guess what?
Do you see that child?
No.
So that there are no other siblings in your house?
No.
How many children do you have?
I have 2.
How old are they?
They're 7 and 5.
The 7-year-old is not Mr. Kern's child.
No.
When did you and Mr. Kern separate?
In November of 2002.
So the baby was an infant. Is there any issue as far as custody at that time?
At that time, Mr. Kern left, and Cameron did stay with me. And when we did our divorce papers, we decided to do 50-50 custody. And up until this recent event, we did share 50-50 custody.
When you say 50-50 custody, how did that break down in the week?
We would alternate weeks. 1 week I would have 3 days, he would have 4. The next week I would have 4 days, he would have 3.
So that really required that you live in close proximity to each other.
At the time, I was in Riverside, California, and he was up in Apple Valley, so about an hour away.
So, Mr. Kern, you had your son half the time.
Correct.
But you, I assume, always knew that there would come a time when he went to school and you couldn't have that kind of an arrangement because you can't live an hour away from each other and still do that.
Correct. I offered to put him in private school, and she didn't want that. She lives in Colton.
Just a second. You offered to put him in private school near you.
Correct.
Well, she didn't want him to be in a private school
She
near
wanted
you. Shh, Mr. Kern, because that would mean that she would lose her 50% of the custody time.
Negative.
Sure it would, because if he's in private school near you, of necessity, he has to spend 5 days a week at your house. In any event, she said, no, I want to put him to school where I am, right?
Correct.
She wanted the child to go to school in her location. You wanted the child to go to school in your location. And then the trouble began. So, Mr. Kern, why don't you tell me the timeline from there? She brought papers to you to ask you to sign off so that you could register the child in school.
Yeah, and that if I didn't agree, she wouldn't let me have my son. She was going to leave in the parking lot right then and there. Actually, it started long before that. My son had lots of marks and bruises on him that were questionable. And every time I'd ask her, you know, how did this happen? It was always the same story. Oh, he got it playing with his brother, or he got it fighting with his brother. One February day, she called me, said, hey, you know, he had a bit of an accident. I don't know if I'm going to take him to the hospital or not. I'm just letting you know. I said, okay, do I need to come down there? You know, I'll take it myself. She said, no. He showed up that weekend, and I have pictures right here. He has a complete black eye. He has a gash in his eye.
I'd like to see it.
And these are some other pictures of bruises and marks on him from when he's come from her house. Hand marks, bruise on his shoulder, other marks on his face from different times. And I took those pictures to my attorney, asked them what they think I should do, and that's when I took that to the court.
I wouldn't say a word if I were you. You are no relation to this case.
That's my wife.
I understand exactly who it is, sir. I understand exactly who it is, and if you want the situation with your son to ultimately resolve itself, I would suggest that she let you do the talking. That's the problem. Well, see, black and blue marks on his arms.
I also have a video that I think you need to see that's important in this case.
Oh, this is his leg.
This is just one of 100 times of how he acts when he goes back to his mother. And I think it's very important that you see this video right here.
Sure.
And after my attorney told me, you know, after I took that to court for next court,
don't tell me what your attorney told you, sir. What your attorney told you was hearsay.
All right, here we go, guys.
Cameron, come on, baby. Hey, sooner you go with your mommy, the sooner I get to come get you and we can do Christmas. Come on, honey. Cameron. Come on, it's time to go with your mommy, honey. No. Don't do that. Come on. Mommy misses you and she wants to see you. Okay, baby? Come on.
I've seen enough. Turn it off, please.
That's not even the good part. The part where he throws himself on the ground, and I asked, let me talk to him to calm him down. She won't let me. He's banging on the window in her car, screaming for me, and takes off.
I don't understand why you're photographing this.
Well, actually, that was upon her request in the court. She wanted to videotape pickups or drop-offs, so if somebody said something they shouldn't, they could take it to court.
That was at her request? Mm-hmm. Is that right?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I have it on the minutes.
I'd like to see it. It's a major concern to me to videotape a child like that, who's clearly as young as he is, playing for the camera. Well, this just says the parties stipulate that the visitation exchanges may be videotaped and audiotaped.
Yeah, she did that because she accused me of bad-mouthing her when I pick up or drop off my son. So the judge said that we can videotape or audiotape the pickup or drop-offs. And they...
Just a second. And she didn't ask for it. She accused you,
and we
Mr.
went to
Kern.
court. Her
Mr.
attorney
Kern,
said,
listen to me. I'm really big on two parents getting involved and being integral parts of their children's lives, fathers and mothers. I think it's really important. And I don't know which one of you is a better custodial parent. I really don't know. Sounds to me as if you adore him.
It's my life.
And it sounds to me, based upon the answer that you submitted to me, that you legitimately feel that you are a more fit custodial parent. Maybe. But I'm telling you what I'm seeing. The injuries that you've shown me here are nothing compared to what my kids had when they were growing up.
But if your kid came
broken
on his face or something,
broken
would you not be
arms,
concerned?
jumping off the beds with their siblings, banging heads, getting hit in the face with a lacrosse stick. All kinds of things happen to children, especially children who have a close in age sibling.
But then where's the supervision?
Excuse me?
If something like that happens to his face because he was fighting with his brother, where was the supervision?
Can't supervise children all the time, Mr. Kern. What planet are you living on, sir?
This one. These things don't happen at my house. I have 2 full-grown German Shepherds. He has his own bike. He has everything in the world a kid could ever want.
Mr. Kern,
and these things don't happen in my home.
Mr. Kern, what you don't have in your house is another child. The only issue in this case, as far as I'm concerned, is do these pictures of marks on the child give him sufficient reason for him to have placed a call to Child Protective Services to investigate?
I never called Child Protective Services. I just filed an ex parte hearing saying, for my concerns about those marks. I never called CPS not once.
Just a second. So you filed a proceeding, an ex parte proceeding, for what?
To get custody of my son so we could find out what was going on. I have letters here from a psychotherapist.
Just a second. So you had 50-50 custody, and based upon these photographs, you went to court through your attorney and filed an ex parte order seeking physical custody full-time of your child based upon these photographs.
And letters from a psychotherapist that interviewed my son to find out where the marks were coming from, which I have these right here as well.
So while the child was with you, in addition to taking these photographs, you took him to a psychologist.
Yeah, upon my attorney's advice.
Listen, Mr. Kern, I was there for 25 years. I know exactly what's going on, sir. I know precisely what's going on. Now, when did you file your ex parte proceeding, sir?
End of April '06.
And when did Miss Padilla tell you that she wasn't going to allow you to enroll the child in private school in your area?
She served me on my first wedding anniversary, which is March 12th, '06, and that's where the court
Just
papers
a second.
began.
So in March of '06, Miss Padilla served you with papers seeking what?
That she wanted him to go to school in her area, which is Colton.
So she served you with papers in March of '06. And in April of '06, you saw an attorney, brought photographs, and at that point filed your own ex parte order of custody based upon allegations of abuse. Is that right?
According, yes.
I'm getting the timeline here.
Upon my attorney's advice.
That wasn't his first response to my petition. His original response noted nothing of physical abuse.
Okay. Then he took these pictures that he had been saving up and storing up since December of 2005.
That's not true. On my first response, noted a lot of things. The fact that she lived in a 2-bedroom apartment with her sister and her 2 children, with her other son and my son. My son coming to my house telling me he sleeps on the couch with his brother while she sleeps in her room with her boyfriend.
Mr. Kern, how much support do you pay for that child support?
Which one?
That lady's child.
$250.
$250 or what?
A month.
Pay it every month?
Nope.
So you don't pay child support?
Not every month. Sometimes I get behind on bills and stuff. I can't make the payment.
He hasn't paid in over 3 years.
Yes, I have.
I'm getting there. And how much child support do you pay now for this child?
I believe it was $400 a month if she took him to school. I let my employer have the information, and I don't think they've started that yet.
So how much do you pay her?
$400 a month or something like that.
400.
I don't quite recall.
Well, the employer hasn't started deducting it from your salary yet. So how much do you give her every month?
Nothing.
Why?
Because if I give it to her, she'll never report it.
But in between the time that the child support order takes place, sir, and they start with the income deduction order, months could go by before that happens. So how do you expect your child to be supported? Okay, so now you have 2 children, and if I am correct, from what you tell me, Mr. Kern, who you want me to believe you're father of the year, you have 2 children for whom
I'm not father
you are
of the year.
currently paying 0 child support. And this from a man who said, I want to put my son in private school near me.
I had 50% custody at the time.
No,
Actually, I
no,
had
listen to
more.
me. Listen to me. This is from a man who said, I want to pay for private school. And now you tell me that you have 2 children, 5 years old, for whom you are currently paying nothing in child support.
That's not every month. Just because she hasn't received hers yet, that's the child support agency, not my fault. I'm not going to give it to her and have her deny it.
You got where we're going? He thinks he's a step ahead of me. I was there for 25 years, Mr. Kern. I know exactly what's going on. Exactly. Well, let's finish the scenario. You went to court. You had a lawyer. Did you have a lawyer?
On the Monday, I went to...
Just answer my question. Did you have a lawyer?
On our next court date, we did.
And the child's custody was immediately transferred to the father.
For
Is
the
that
month
right?
pending.
Just answer my question.
Yes.
For how long did Mr. Kern have custody?
Until May 17th of 2006.
And then what happened?
That was our original court date, and we went to mediation.
When you went back to mediation, was a forensic expert assigned to the case?
No.
We were assigned to do a 7:30 evaluation.
And what was the name of the therapist who was doing the evaluation?
Dr. Michael.
You have a copy of that report?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it. So as a result, I assume, at least in part of the forensic evaluation, the court determined that the custody arrangement that you originally agreed to was not workable.
Correct.
Is that right? And ultimately, primary physical custody was ordered to you.
Yes, it was.
And the court granted you visitation 3 weekends a month. Is that right?
Big drop from having them half the time, huh?
Absolutely right, sir. Absolutely right. You're supposed to try to work things out. You're supposed to be smart enough to know that whatever custody arrangement you make when a child is 2 is not going to be able to hold true when the child is 6 or 8 or 10 or 12. And you're supposed to be able to work with each other. And just because you got angry that she wasn't going to allow you to have your way...
How's that right? These pictures were started being taken in December, beginning of December, when she filed in March. Some, magically appeared some pictures in December.
Kern,
These are concerns I've had for a while.
Either that, sir, or you don't understand what it's like to be a 5-year-old with a 7-year-old sibling, with a black and blue mark on the knee, with a scratch above the eye, with a black and blue mark on the hand, with scrapes across the face. Happens. It happens. And nothing that I read in this report suggested, absolutely nothing, that your child complained that any of those marks were as a result of his mother's actions.
I have some other letters here that you should read then.
Absolutely.
There is also a section about her in the 7:30 evaluation, the psychotherapist that wrote the letters that he's showing you now. And nowhere in that report does he say, my mommy hits me, my mommy beats me.
No, but it does talk about domestic violence, about how her boyfriend hits her and she hit him back.
Listen,
And that's from what he's
the
seen.
problem, Mr. Kern, is that you really are going to have to back off in interfering with what goes on in her house.
If your child sees domestic violence, should I not be concerned?
What I'm telling you is you have to back off as to what goes on in her house. You're not supposed to ask your son anything about what goes on in her house.
The therapist asked him that.
I didn't say the therapist. I said you're not supposed to ask him anything about what goes on in his house. And she's not supposed to ask him anything about what goes on in your house. You're both supposed to assume that each of you love him and want to take care of him and want to protect him and do the right thing. That's what you're supposed to assume. And you, Mr. Kern, are supposed to pay child support for that child, for this child, who you now don't have in your custody. I mean, I read the report, and the report indicated that when this forensic evaluation was done, your son says you don't work, and you're home all the time.
No, I'm a contractor, so I choose my own
That's
hours.
what he says. He says, my father doesn't
Well, I
work.
make sure I'm home when he's there.
I'm telling you what your son says, sir.
And I know what he says, and I'm going
His
to
son
explain it
says,
to you.
my father doesn't work. Well, that's not a good thing for a child to even think that his father doesn't work. That's what he said. Told the
Well, that's because
therapist,
he's
my
5
father
years
doesn't.
old. He thinks a magic wand pays the bills. Just because I go out of my way to make sure I'm home when he's there so we can spend time together. I work when he's not with me.
If you have him with you 4 days a week, sir, you should be working
It's
part
not
of that
4
time.
days a week.
That's what you told me.
I'm not home
You told
4
me
days
that
a week.
you
It
had
could be 3 days a week
50-50
one
custody.
Week. It could be 3 1 week. It could be 2 if my
Mr.
wife's
Kern,
off.
you've got an
she
answer
watches
for
him.
everything, sir. What you're asking me for is counsel fees. That's what you're asking me for.
Right.
Counsel fees. And I'm not granting those because he went to an attorney. I just want you to think about this. He went to an attorney and sought the advice of counsel who represented him when you filed an application to terminate the 50-50 custody arrangement. So you filed the petition first. He had to hire a lawyer. And he just said, I'd rather be on the offensive rather than on the defensive because that's his temperament.
Well, he didn't consult an attorney first. He stated that my father told him to take me to court.
No, I didn't.
He went, listen, did he have an attorney representing him?
At the ex parte hearing, he did, yes.
Did he have the attorney representing him in the case that you filed?
No.
I'm talking about the original date in May, because that you said was the original court date you had on your application. Did you have an attorney or not?
Yes.
I believe he had an attorney. His attorney started the process, so the attorney had necessity had to be with him. You don't get your counsel fees. It's unfortunate that both of you spent your money on legal fees, but you don't get your counsel fees, just like he doesn't get his. But he's better start to pay child support.
They can't find any child support because I've received a 2-cent check since the child support was ordered.
That is not true.
Well,
Here you go.
if he doesn't pay the child support order, what I'm going to suggest you do is go to the court and ask to have his driver's license suspended. You too. The first thing that states have to do under federal guidelines is license. And as a contractor, he needs that. Otherwise, his wife is going to have to drive herself to work and him to work. Don't let him get away without paying child support. That's his obligation as a parent, to you and to you, and to your children. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Your case is dismissed. He's not required to pay your counsel fees. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused and they step out.
Marco Abrigo is suing his children's grandmother, Christina Strickland, for the return of 2 child support payments. Christina is countersuing for the unpaid medical expenses of Marco's children.
Mr. Abrigo, it is your claim that you paid child support to the defendant who was caring for your 2 children for 5 years. And the last 2 payments that you made to her, which were deducted from your salary, I assume, were made when the children had been returned to their mother. And you want those 2 payments back. Ms. Strickland says she took care of your 2 children for 5 years. You owe her a fortune of money, and she's counterclaiming. So I have a few questions for you, sir, before I make very, very short work out of you. When did your children go to live with Ms. Strickland?
2001, I believe.
What do you mean you believe? I would know the exact moment that my children were removed from my custody.
I don't know the exact date that we signed over the children, but it was towards the end. I'm going to say September of 2001.
And you signed custody over to Ms. Strickland because you and their mother were neglecting them. And but for Ms. Strickland, the state would have taken them. Fair statement?
No.
You just decided you had enough being a parent?
No.
What was it?
Well, the way it went down is the mother of the children and Miss Strickland were talking, and because I was going to be going away.
Going away to where?
I
Summer
was
camp?
possibly going to be incarcerated, and she would not be able to take care of the children.
Why not?
I do not know.
Were you living together at the time?
No, we were not. We were not
So what
together.
difference did it make whether you were in jail or on Mars? She was still alone taking care of the children. When were you in jail, sir? From when to when?
Basically from January of 2002 to November 2002.
And in that year, the children were with Miss Strickland.
Yes, they were.
And how much support were you sending while you were in jail?
None.
None? Who was supporting your children?
Miss Strickland.
And when did you make that year up to her?
Well, when I did get out of 2002, I didn't make it up to her financially, but through 2003 to the beginning of 2004, February, I had the kids in the excess of about 200 days.
That's
I'm
not right.
talking about when you were in prison, sir. You paid nothing for the support of your 2 children.
I pay nothing.
Nothing. You assumed that you got 2 jobs so that you could pay Miss Strickland, who was a total stranger to you. She was the step-grandmother of the children. You got 2 jobs so you could start paying her back all the money she spent on taking care of the children. Didn't you?
No, I did not.
Well, then you've got some nerve being here. For 2 payments? Because they went to her instead of going to the mother of the children?
I'm only going by what the court is telling me to go by.
This court is telling you to go home. After I would have made you bend down and kiss her feet for taking care of your children for 5 years. So I have no idea what you're doing here. What you're doing here is nonsense. Listen, Miss Strickland.
Yes, ma'am.
But for the fact that he sued you for this nonsense, you would not be here. Is that correct?
Probably.
Probably not. Because you didn't expect anything from him?
Never.
And pretty much that's exactly what you got.
Exactly. May I say something, please?
Absolutely.
My grandchildren have been living with their mom since August of 2006. He has not sent 1 penny to support those kids up until this point.
Is what she's saying correct? Would you get him out of here? I cannot stand to look at him. Your case is
Parties are
dismissed.
excused.
That's
They
all.
step out.
Erica Heskett says ex-boyfriend Joseph Siegert owes for loans and an assault.
Miss Hesketh, the defendant used to be your boyfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
And you, as so many other women who have appeared before me over the years, gave him some money.
Yes,
A
ma'am.
lot of money.
Yes, ma'am.
And you don't look like a very, very rich girl, so you look as if this money really put a dent in your wallet.
Yes, ma'am.
In addition, you claim not only to have given him money, but to have been the victim of his bad temper.
Yes, ma'am.
You claim that he assaulted you, and you want him to be responsible for that as well. Mr. Siegert says that there was, over the course of your relationship, money moved back and forth. There was never any understanding that he was going to repay this money that you gave him. He doesn't much talk about the assault, but he will today. So, when did you and the defendant start to live together?
Ma'am, we first started living together around 13 September of '06.
And did you move in together to a place, or did he move into your apartment?
Ma'am, he's on parole. He got released from parole and got what is called live-outs. So therefore, he was given permission to live with me in my condo and do a work release type program.
What were you in prison for, Mr. Siegert?
I was DWI. It was a suspended sentence, Your Honor.
So you weren't in prison?
No, ma'am.
When did you move into her apartment, sir? On September 13th?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what was the financial arrangement, Mr. Siegert, when you moved into her apartment?
There wasn't none. There was no agreement whatsoever. And when I basically found another place, which was back with my parents, then I moved out.
When was that?
Well, September 13th I moved in, so I would say October and November was when we were splitting up a lot, fighting.
Is that right?
Ma'am, he moved out the 13th of, it's the final day when all the stuff got removed from my residence.
Okay. So let's hear about the money you claim he owes you.
Okay, around the 26th of August, he had to go down to Texas for his child support hearing. Basically, he owed around $15,000 in back child support. They were going to throw him in jail, and he had to go to court down there. He stressed the importance of being able to see his daughter and have his daughter into his life, and really was upset and asked me for help. I went at that time with him to City Financial Bank, and I took out a loan for $5,000. I then turned around and deposited that money into my account. I transferred $3,000 from savings to checkings on the 29th so I could write the check of check number 1222.
For what?
For his attorney, for the retainer.
And how did you get the name of the attorney?
He had provided the name of the attorney, ma'am.
And how did you get the city and state of the attorney?
He provided it, ma'am.
And how did you get the amount that was owed the attorney?
He provided it, ma'am.
Did you speak to the attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
And you got the telephone number from?
The defendant.
Is that all correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, when you sent this money down, what kind of discussion did you have with Mr. Siegert with regard to the money?
Ma'am, he promised that he would pay me back on the monthly payments that were due, and he claimed that
Because this was a loan that you were going to be paying back. You didn't just take money out of your bank. And how much were the monthly payments?
They were around $148 a month.
That's a pretty exact number. Were they $148 a month?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So that's the first amount of money. What else?
The other amounts that I helped him out with was basically the rent, which we had the agreement.
Forget rent. If you didn't pay the rent the first month, you should have kicked him out. Anything else?
I don't believe so.
Now you want to tell me about when this assault allegedly took place?
Yes, ma'am. The assault happened on 31 December at around 12:30 in the morning. The defendant came over. He had still had house keys since he had previously moved out on the 13th. He came in. He was drunk at the time, came into my bedroom, was trying to talk to me while he was drunk. I told him to get out. We got into a fight because I threatened to call the police. And basically, he slapped the cell phone out of my hands. He grabbed me. I was on the chair, and he pinned me down. He had one hand over my nose and one over my mouth, and he says, "How does it feel knowing that I've got your life in my hands?" I then told him to get off. I couldn't catch my breath, and I proceeded to just get extremely dizzy and sick.
And he left?
He left, but he took my vehicle in the process.
Okay, did he return the vehicle?
The cops contacted him. The vehicle got returned.
You called the police?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you arrested that day, sir?
No, Your Honor.
How did they get the car?
I ended up bringing it back to her because reported phone calls and stuff like that and threats. So I brought it back. I didn't want any more conflict whatsoever. But if you don't mind, Your Honor, the only evidence I have against that assault is right here from my PO stating...
Don't tell me what your PO states.
Okay.
Let's get to this money that Ms. Haskett laid out for you. $3,000 you acknowledge she gave towards your attorney.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, is this a retainer for an attorney, or was this to pay your child support?
An attorney.
An attorney for what?
For child support, I was fighting for custody and to take care of the back child support.
Why were you fighting for custody?
Well, I wanted to get my rights back.
What rights?
The standard visitation rights.
So, well, there's a difference between custody and visitation. So what were you fighting for?
Just my visitation and to get back child support readjusted.
Well, did you get the back child support readjusted?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
To what?
It is down to about $7,000, and now I'm paying extra each month to get it back down.
Wouldn't it have been smarter to save the $3,000 for the lawyer and just give the $3,000 to your child?
I couldn't. I had to fight for myself. Because
Yeah.
if I did not go down there and get it reduced, yes, because it was an outrageous amount.
Well, how much was it a week?
It was a week. They didn't know my income right at the time because...
But don't tell me what they didn't know. I asked you a specific question. What was the amount of child support you were supposed to pay?
$384 a month.
Well, that's not an outrageous amount.
Well, it's, for one child, you don't get a C.
How much were you supposed to pay that you didn't pay a month?
$384 a month, Your Honor.
That was not an exorbitant amount.
No, it wasn't.
Why didn't you pay it?
Because I wasn't seeing her. She wouldn't let me.
Why didn't you go to court?
I was in the process of it. I didn't have the money.
You don't
have an
need money
attorney.
to go to court. Every domestic relations court in this country, you can appear pro bono if you want to, if it's important to you.
Very.
Just, if it was important to you, that's what you do. In any event, why should Miss Hassett pay this $3,000 for a lawyer that you needed to keep you out of jail because you didn't pay child support?
Because I actually had an agreement with my attorney on payment plans.
So why didn't you pay her? She has to pay $148 a month. How much were you supposed? If you were supposed to pay your lawyer a payment plan, how much were you supposed to pay your lawyer a month?
It was going to be $100 a week.
$100 a week, which is $400 a month.
Yes.
Well, this was only $148 a month. Why didn't you pay her?
She was paid, Your Honor.
How?
By cash, I had...
No, that's not what you say here. I have your answer. And when you had time to write this answer, you had time to reflect. So don't give me a lot of baloney. The only thing that you say here is that you gave her a $2,800 settlement check. It's the only thing that you say that you gave her. Am I correct? That's what you say here. And you say there was money back and forth. But as far as this $3,000 is concerned, what you say, Mr. Siegert, is she took it upon herself to pay the lawyer. I never asked her.
She did. That's exactly how. She was being...
Who are you?
I'm his mother.
I would suggest you be quiet. So far, you haven't done a good job.
But, Your Honor, I...
Got it?
Yeah.
And I would keep the relationship to myself, especially today.
Your Honor, I did not ask her to go get the $3,000.
What I'm asking you, sir, is if you had an arrangement with the lawyer to give him $100 a week,
yes,
which is $400 a month, and she laid it out, why didn't you give her the $400 a month until the $3,000 was paid off?
It was paid off, Your Honor.
Tell me how. That's what I'm listening.
By a settlement check. I was getting at it.
Well, then
I
get
got
there.
It. I received it in January 7th.
Settlement check for what?
I was fired for wrongful reasons.
Did you receive that $2,800
No, ma'am.
check?
No, ma'am.
Show me proof.
I have no proof, Your Honor, due to the fact that she entered my house a while back and took all my receipts and contracts
Mr. Siegert,
for that.
Mr. Siegert, I believe you this much, sir.
believe
Because
that.
all you have to do is call whoever sent you the settlement check. Get a copy of it, because if she endorsed it, they would have gotten it back, right?
I have a copy of
Show me.
of the settlement at my house.
Just a second. You have a copy of the settlement at your house. Where did you think you were coming today? To the beach?
I didn't think it would be brought up.
Well, of course it would be brought up, sir. That's what you wrote in your answer. Why didn't you think it would be brought up?
Didn't cross my mind. I was thinking about
You
the
have no
assault.
mind. You owe her the $3,000. Now, let's hear your version of the events of the 31st of December when you entered her home.
I don't recollect hardly anything whatsoever
Why?
because I don't drink. I don't drive.
Well, you did drive because you just told me that you returned her car to her, so you clearly drove.
Well, not personally.
What do you mean not personally?
Well, because I was paying for a vehicle that I could not drive yet.
Look at you. I want you to look at your mother's face. Your mother is looking at you and saying, I really wish I wasn't here. Why
That
didn't
makes
I
two of
send
us, Your
somebody else? You have other children?
Yes.
You have older children?
Yes.
Why didn't I send one of the older kids with him? Why am I subjecting myself to sitting here and having a television camera on me, listening to this child that I reared? Listen, tell me about the 31st of December.
31st of December. Yes, she did call and report that I did assault her. As I know.
I want you to tell me not what she did.
Your Honor, I honestly don't know what I did exactly on the 31st, but I know what
Because
she
you were
said
what?
I didn't do. What's that?
Because you were drinking?
No, Your Honor.
Well, if you don't know what you were doing on the 31st of December, either you were drinking or drugging or something.
Either I was working or sleeping. That was my life, Your Honor. I was on parole. That's what my life is now. I don't do anything that she says I do. Drink, drive, commit crimes, all that stuff. I've made my mistake, and I pay for it.
Not yet.
Obviously.
How many grandchildren does your mother have?
She has one, Your Honor.
Does she see that one grandchild?
Sorry, I apologize. She has three. One from me and two from my sister.
You don't have to bend down. We can hear you. Does she see the grandchild that is your child?
No.
Is that her choice, your choice, or the child's choice?
Neither. The mother's choice. That's why I'm in a battle.
Maybe you wouldn't be in such a battle if you paid your child support.
It's being paid, Your Honor.
Well, people usually don't go on an eating hiatus, Mr. Siegert,
Right.
including children. They have to eat regularly, they have to be clothed regularly. So the fact that you went on a child support hiatus doesn't necessarily endear you to the mother of your child.
Your Honor, I'm not saying that I didn't. Well, I didn't pay the child support. I'm not saying I didn't off. I had her, she got her money, but it wasn't recorded. That's what I'm saying. Now it's legal through the courts, and they didn't adjust anything, and that's why it's being adjusted from what I did already pay.
Listen, Miss Hassett, you weren't together with him very long, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Good for you.
I made a mistake.
You made a mistake.
A big one.
Okay. So right now, what you really out is $3,000. You have no difference in your rent, even though you say that he promised to pay you rent. He lived with you 3 months. You still living in the same condo?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a roommate?
No, ma'am.
Right. So your primary problem is that you are stuck with this $3,000 loan that you took out to pay for his lawyer, and that he's responsible to pay. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000. That's all. Step back.
22-year-old Lindsay Allen is suing eBay seller 26-year-old Karen Stevens for selling her a fake Louis Vuitton purse. Karen insists the purse is real.
Miss Allen, you purchased what you believe to be an authentic designer bag on the internet from the defendant. I think you paid $250 for it. When it arrived, it was your belief that it was a fake.
Yes.
And you spent another $35 to have someone examine it. And you are going to be showing me, according to your complaint, that it was determined that the bag was, in fact, a fake.
Yes.
Ms. Stevens says there is no way that the bag was fake, and she's going to prove to me that the bag was authentic. Can I see the bag, please?
Yes.
Why did you want this bag, by the way?
I've always wanted an authentic Louis Vuitton purse. I did not know that what I was getting was a replica. I do have a real one here to compare.
I'd
if you
like
want
to
see
take a
it.
look at
Okay.
it, please.
The serial number on the authentic one is underneath the pouch.
This pouch?
Yeah, the interior pouch, right underneath it.
Oh, you would never know that unless you looked very carefully.
And there's no serial number on the replica as well. As you can see also, the stitching is uneven. In authentic Louis Vuitton purse, the stitching is usually close to perfect.
There are several things that are different.
Yes.
There is no authentication on the lock, and there is an authentication on the lock on this one. Have you ever examined a real one as compared to this one?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Stevens, what do you do for a living?
I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I sell on eBay.
Where did you get this bag from?
My mom.
Where did she get it from?
A good friend of hers. It was actually a gift.
Well, it's a fake.
I don't believe that it is.
Yeah, it is. Sure it is. Would you send it back to her? She's going to look at several things. First of all, she's going to look at the piping. She's going to look at the serial numbers inside. She's going to look at the lock. First, take a look at the lock on both. Take a look at the lock on the real one. Turn it over. One also has a serial number on the bottom. The one that you sold her does not.
Yes.
Now open up the real one. Open up the flap, and you'll see a serial number underneath the flap. See the serial number?
Yes.
Open up yours. See a serial number?
No, I do not.
Got it?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You look like a very nice lady. She wants her money back. When did she call you and tell you that she wanted her money back?
She emailed me the purse saying that it was fake, and I said that I didn't believe that it was. And if she did believe that it was fake, I sent 7 different very detailed pictures to her of the purse that show the stitching. If she had any idea that it wasn't authentic or thought that it wasn't, I sent extra pictures.
Listen to me. You sent her the pictures for her to try to prove that it was a real purse.
Exactly.
But it's not.
But why did she not argue that if she thought that it was? Because I'm not a cheater or a stealer.
Now, I understand that, but she wanted her money back. And if you had said, listen, if you're dissatisfied with the purse, I'll give you your money back, we wouldn't be here today. But in order for her to prove to you that it was fake, she took it to somebody to authenticate it. Do you have the report? Can I see it, please?
Yes.
You want to sell things? That's what happens. I mean, if you don't know that something is authentic and you advertise it as a Louis Vuitton bag, you're advertising it as an authentic Louis Vuitton bag.
Yes.
Turns out that it is not an authentic Louis Vuitton bag. I can see that. I've shown you some examples of where you can look and see it. I don't think you're a dishonest lady. I think you thought perhaps she was mistaken. Maybe you thought she was trying to scam you and would send you back a different bag, which is what you say in your answer. In the meantime, the big bag goes back to the plaintiff. The little bag stays with the defendant, and she gets her money back, plus the cost of the expert, $285. Thank you very much. You're 2 nice ladies.
Verna Ridenour claims her estranged son-in-law, Brian Hill, owes for a loan and babysitting fees. Brian says Verna and her daughter are deadbeats.
Ms. Ridenour, Mr. Hill is your soon-to-be ex-son-in-law, and it is your claim that he owes you for a small loan that you made to him to pay his mortgage and for some babysitting services for your 3 grandchildren.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hill says that the mortgage payment was your idea. There was never any discussion of repayment for it, and he's going to tell me the story about the babysitting services. I want to start with you, Mr. Hill. How long have you been married?
Since '95.
And how old are your children?
10, 7, and 12.
How long have you been separated from your wife?
Since '05.
And how long have the children been living with you? You have custody
Since
of it?
'05.
Since '05?
Yes, ma'am.
Did your wife leave the house?
Yes.
Did she have somebody else?
At the time, no, I don't know. I don't think so.
But she left?
Yes.
And she left you with the children?
Well, when she originally left, she took the kids with her. The kids wasn't happy living with Miss Ridenour here. The kids told Tina this many times. Tina told me over the phone that I could have custody. We went to court for the custody.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Just a second. Was custody adjudicated in court?
Yes. When we went
That's
to
all
court.
I have to hear. Custody was adjudicated in court?
Yes.
Did you and your wife make an agreement with regard to the custody of the children?
Yes.
So it was resolved between the 2 of you that you would have custody and she would have visitation?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you get child support for the children?
It's court-ordered, but I haven't received the first check yet.
And how long has it been since you got child support from their mother?
I believe it was April or May of last year, '06.
Now, Ms. Ridenour, When do you claim you made this loan to Mr. Hill with regard to the mortgage payment?
7th of 2006.
Tell me about it.
Mr. Hill was at my house stating that him and the children wanted to move back to his home because he was living with his mom, but he didn't have the money for the mortgage payment. I stated to Mr. Hill that I would lend it to him. He come back and said that he did not want any handouts and that he would pay me back. And I stated that he can make payments, and I haven't received a penny from Mr. Hill.
Your Honor, that's wrong.
Okay. Now tell me about the babysitting.
The babysitting, Mr. Hill asked me if I would watch the 3 children for him while he worked, that he would pay me. And I said, okay, $75 a week, and he okayed that. And I said, but he had to be home by 7 that evening. Well, Mr. Hill called me that Friday, because it was only a week that I watched him. That Friday, he called me, and he stated that he would be a few minutes late, that his sister was in a car accident. And I said, okay. This was at 5 p.m. I called him at 10:07 in the evening to ask him if he would be back by 8 to pick up the children. And he said, yes, Vern, I'm leaving now, and hung up on me. And so in the meantime, I was on the computer with the 2 granddaughters, and I received an IM through the computer, which was Mr. Hill's mom, saying all these harsh things to me. And then Mr. Hill came and blew the horn at 8 o'clock and picked up the children. And then when I got on my computer, I seen that I had 2 emails that Saturday, the day after, where Mr. Hill was apologizing for his mom. And I also have an email here stating that his mom wanted me to accept her apology as well.
So what does that have to do with anything?
Because Mr. Hill
should have to do with anything.
Mr. Hill should have called me and told me that he was going to be late and not call his mom and have his mom to IM me through the computer. It was between me and him, not me, him and his mom.
He told me that he called you at 5 o'clock. He said his sister was in an automobile accident and he was going to be late. Didn't you just tell me that?
He said a little late.
So what? You're watching. You're with your 3 grandchildren. Do you work?
No, ma'am.
So what else do you have to do? If he said he had a family emergency, what's the big deal?
Because I watched him before, and he's never picked them up until 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about one particular day. You watch the children for 1 week, according to you. Where do you think you are? You watched the children for 1 week. You said he was supposed to pick them up at 7. I assume the other days he picked them up at 7. Called you the last day, said, my sister was in an automobile accident. I'm going to be a little late. And he comes to pick the children up 1 hour late. And I'm asking you, you're the grandmother. What's the big deal?
The big deal is I watched him 4 months prior to that, and I never charged anything. And
you shouldn't charge anything.
And he was coming and picking the children up at 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night when it's a school night.
Then you shouldn't have volunteered to watch them again if it wasn't satisfactory arrangement. If it wasn't a satisfactory arrangement 4 months before, then you shouldn't have volunteered to watch them again. It would seem to me that if you are the mother of a deadbeat parent, which you are, because your daughter is a deadbeat, she has not sent support for her children since April of '06, that if your contribution could be helping to watch your grandchildren so that he can work and support them, you shouldn't be here today asking for $75 for babysitting services.
Well, how can my daughter be a deadbeat? She's paying child support for the grandchildren.
No,
she's also giving medical insurance for them.
He hasn't received child support from her since April of '06.
Because he keeps dropping it. It's like this. If she doesn't do what Mr. Hill wants her to do, then he'll go file it. If she does what he wants her to do, he'll drop it.
Listen to me, madam. A parent has an obligation to support children that they made. It is irrelevant to me whether it's a mother or a father. If the father has custody of the children and the mother has no children, then what she's got to do is work for it, because the children need to be supported.
I understand that, Your Honor.
Right.
And
so if I was the
that.
mother of a parent who did not pay child support and my contribution could be helping to babysit with my children, I wouldn't complain because the father was an hour late because of an emergency. Now, you want to tell me the story about the mortgage?
July of last year, I moved in with my mother because I was having problems paying bills. I moved down in there, had the kids enrolled in school. Everything was going well. Tina called me maybe 4 months after I moved down there, wanting to know if she could take over our house that we had purchased together. That's fine. If she was going to do it, that was fine. I gave Tina $1,000 cash, and the $1,000 was meant to be for the mortgage payment, the electric payment, and the ground rent where we live. She paid the ground rent and the electric. She never paid the mortgage, took off with the money. And then she calls me a week later and tells me she can't afford the house. Now the mortgage payment's never been paid.
That's not true.
Don't speak.
The mortgage payment was never made. Verna started calling me, asking me to move back. I have phone records of this, how many times she's called.
I'd like to see them.
They're all highlighted in yellow. Verna
She
started
called you
calling
at your mother's house?
on my cell phone,
Or
yes.
your cell phone. Go ahead.
She called me wanting me to come back to move up there so she could be closer to the kids, because at this time I was like 150 miles away from her and her daughter. I told her, being I gave my wife Tina all this money, I didn't have money to move back. She agreed to pay the payment for me if I moved back so she could be closer to the kids and part a Christmas present, because it was November when we moved back.
Your Honor, that's not true.
You didn't want to see your grandchildren?
Your Honor, I do want to see my grandchildren. I haven't seen my grandchildren in 3 months for whatever reason. I don't know. I've seen...
You told me that you were watching them in May.
Well, it's been 2 months.
Oh,
1 or 2 months. I do know.
You told me you babysat for them in May.
1 week she did.
June 6th.
I only watched them for 1 week.
Well, that's not 2 months. 2 months haven't passed, madam.
Well...
I'm asking you, didn't you want to see your grandchildren?
Of course, I do want to see my grandchildren.
No, didn't you, when he was living 150 miles away?
Yes, I do want to...
So that if Mr. Hill says that when you spoke, you said that you would take care of the mortgage payment, are you telling me that you didn't have a discussion with him?
We did have a discussion about the mortgage payment. He told me he did not want any handouts, that he would pay it back. And I said, well, just make it in payments. And he said whatever was left, he would just pay it when he got his taxes back.
That's wrong, Your Honor.
It's wrong. I don't think I believe you, Miss Ridenour. I don't think I believe you at all. And what I find ludicrous is that you seem to have a reasonable relationship with your daughter because your daughter is here with you. And I assume that because she's here with you, you have a reasonable relationship with her. But you have 3 grandchildren. And why in the world would you want to antagonize over what amounts to no money? Certainly, you're not out any out-of-pocket money with regard to the $75 for babysitting services. Worst thing that you did was you took care of your grandchildren for a couple of days. Big deal. So the worst thing that you're out is a few $100s for a mortgage payment that allowed the grandchildren to be closer to you and your daughter. You would antagonize the custodial parent of your 3 grandchildren. Antagonize him.
Your Honor, they even called Child Protective Services on me.
No, I most certainly did not.
One of them, too.
We did not.
Since I've moved back in November.
No, I most certainly did not.
Since I moved back in November, them 2 are the only ones that have been in my house. When I was moving back, I was carrying a dresser down my hallway. I tripped and my back hit the wall, which put a hole in the wall like about that big. Whoever called Child Protective Services told them that I was abusive, that I didn't have food in the house, that the kids were going to school dirty, there were the hole in the wall, stuff, you know, just made up a bunch of stuff about me. Well, Child Protective Services have a lady in my kids' school all day, every day.
That is not true, Your Honor.
This lady sees my kids all day, every day. The lady pulled the kids out of class, asking them a bunch of questions, if I ever hit them, if we have food. And the call went through to Child Protective Services on April 16th. April 12th is when we went to court for child support.
Gotcha.
That was the following Monday.
Gotcha.
Thursday, when we went to court on the 12th, that next day was Friday. That's the day she agreed she didn't want to watch kids no more.
Gotcha. Your case is dismissed, Mr. Rittenauer, and I would suggest you try very hard to make up with Mr. Hill so that you can see your grandchildren. That's all. Goodbye.
24-year-old Christopher Trammell is suing his stepfather-in-law, Orlando Moore, and his son, 16-year-old Kendall Barclay, for the cost to fix his Chevy Blazer.
Mr. Trammell, I assume it's this young man who is your wife's half-brother?
Yes.
And you're his father?
Yes, ma'am.
According to your complaint, this young man, whose name is?
Kendall.
Kendall, came for a visit.
Yes.
Visiting his sister, and you opened your house and said, sure, he can stay with us. It was during a holiday period?
Well, the February recess.
And while he was there, without your permission, he took your car and he crashed it.
Yes.
You want his father to be responsible for the damage.
Yes, ma'am.
And his father said, you know that he's nothing but trouble and that you should have watched him more carefully.
Well...
That's his defense. Why don't you sit down for a moment, sir? I'll get to you in a minute. Kendall! Are your hands in your pockets?
No.
Perfect. How old are you?
16.
Do I make you nervous?
No.
It's unfortunate. I will try to change that. Why would your father say that you're trouble?
I am.
What do you mean you are?
Sometimes I make trouble.
You make trouble at home?
No.
Where?
On the streets.
But you've never been in trouble with the police?
No.
You're lucky. Now, why did you decide to go to visit your sister?
Because I wanted to spend time with my nephew.
I don't understand you when you're mumbling. Make believe you're outside talking to your friends.
I wanted to spend time with my nieces and nephews.
That's a good thing. How did you get there?
Chris picked me up.
Your sister's husband?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So he's a pretty nice guy.
Yeah.
So he's a pretty nice guy.
Yeah.
So he's a pretty nice guy.
No.
Yes. Say yes.
Yes.
Do you have a driver's license?
No.
What does that mean to you when you don't have a driver's license?
Can't drive.
Tell me about when you took his car.
Well, they were sleeping when I took their
They
car.
were sleeping, so it was late at night.
Yes.
Where were you going?
I wanted to ride up to Wegmans.
I don't understand a word you said.
I wanted to ride to Wegmans.
Wanted to ride to Wegmans. And where did you get the keys from?
They're in the entertainment system.
So you stole the keys?
Yes.
And you stole the car?
Yes.
And what happened?
I drove up to Wegmans and I came back.
I don't hear you.
I drove up to Wegmans. I was going to park the car because my brother, he parks in a certain spot.
I don't hear you.
I drove the car to Wegmans and I came back. And then I wanted to get in the driveway. So I was parked in the wrong spot, so I had to move it. I went and moved the car, and then I took off, and then it hit the next door neighbor's house.
You hit the next door neighbor's house?
Yes.
What did you do?
I didn't do nothing, and the cops came. So then they asked me a few questions, and I answered them.
Now you can stand up. Does your son go to school?
Yes, ma'am.
Does he have a job?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
He is currently looking for employment.
Well, when was the last time he had employment?
He is 16 years old. There's only very few jobs in Rochester for a 16-year-old to do.
So let me ask you this question, sir. Who do you think is responsible for him?
To be honest, when Christopher came to my address and picked Kendall up, I figured he assumed full responsibility.
Yes, he wasn't supposed to see that anything happened to him, but let's say that your son, while he was visiting with his sister and her husband, committed a burglary. Would that have been his fault?
Yes, ma'am.
No. 16-year-old boy who's almost as big as his father knows the difference between right and wrong, and one way or another, sir, you have to teach him a lesson. And what lesson is he learning from this whole process here? He wasn't arrested.
No.
So there were no repercussions from the justice system, right?
As far as I know,
so what
yes.
lesson do you think this whole process is teaching your son?
I think he's pretty much learned his lesson. That
Why? What has he had to do as a result of this?
He's gotten most of his privileges taken away.
What privileges did he have taken away?
No computer, no...
No computer. What else?
He has his PlayStation and iPod taken away from him.
Taking away someone's iPod, sir, is not exactly punishment for destroying this man's car.
See, Kendall has an ADDH situation.
So do 40% of the children, according to statistics in this country.
Well,
they don't steal cars. They don't steal cars.
They do.
Yeah, so do a lot of people without ADHD steal cars. You know, don't give him an excuse, Mr. Moore. You give him an excuse for doing the wrong thing, that he's ADHD, and I guarantee you, you're going to be looking for trouble forever. Forever. ADHD has nothing to do with stealing cars. He wanted to go to a store. He took the car to go to a store. He knew he had no right to take the car to go to a store. That has nothing to do with ADHD.
Well,
that has to do with doing the wrong thing.
That's the frame of mind. That's why he takes the medication, so it keeps his mind focused off of things like this.
I have 11 grandchildren, sir. I reared and helped rear 5 children. I know all about this ADHD stuff. And I know all about parents who will make excuses for their children's bad behavior and ascribe it to a learning disability. So if that's, believe me, he was focusing on getting the keys and going to the store. Believe me. You're going to pay him, and he's going to pay you. And then there is a reaction to his action. And I guarantee you, sir, that's as good as any medication he takes.
So there's...
Any medication he takes.
So there's no responsibility on his side at all?
It would be different if he threw him the keys and said, take the car and go to the store.
I wasn't there.
He just told me what happened. He waited until they went to sleep, and then he went to the entertainment center where the keys were kept, and he took the keys. He told me that. Not him. You make excuses for him, sir. You're going to find yourself before a judge much more frequently than the one time you're going to appear before me. And you give him the excuse of having ADHD for excuse for bad behavior, you are committing a terrible... It's an excuse. One thing had nothing to do with the other with regard to his taking that truck that day. And if you give him an excuse, you are parentally doing him a terrible disservice. I, however, am doing him a service, because unless you want to be out $4,500 yourself, what you're going to do is you're going to have him get a job, and every penny that he earns he's going to give you until the $4,500 is paid off. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,500.
Barry Smith says former friend Jeannie LaSalle damaged a Cadillac she was renting from him.
Mr. Smith, the defendant was a friend of yours, and according to your complaint, you rented a car to her, a car that was registered and titled in your name, that you weren't using. You felt sorry for her, that she needed transportation. You told her she could rent it for $20 a day. It is your claim that she owes you for the rental, as well as some damage that she did to the car. Mr. LaSalle says she owes you nothing. How many cars do you rent out, Mr. Smith?
Well, I've never rented out. The proposition was I wanted to sell it to her. It was her idea to rent it.
And when did you have this conversation?
This was March 22nd in the afternoon. It was like after 1 or 2 p.m.
What kind of car is it?
It's a 1987 Cadillac Eldorado Baritz. It's like a top-of-the-line model for that year.
Well, top-of-the-line, I was a top-of-the-line model in my year, too, sir, but this car is now 20 years old.
It's in good running order. It's in good shape. I only had like 92,000 miles on it.
I'm in good shape, too, but I'm still what I am. You know what I'm talking about?
I can tell.
20-year-old car is a 20-year-old car.
20-year-old car by like 2 owners. It's
I'm
in
not
good shape.
telling you how old I am, and I've only had 2 owners. That still doesn't change anything. You understand?
I understand.
What?
What? What's going to say here?
Mr. Smith, I'm not saying anything bad about your car. I'm just saying it's an old car, sir.
It's an old car.
It's not an antique. It's just an old car.
But it's a Cadillac. That's
Me
different.
too. Listen, so what did you decide to do on March 22nd between 1 and 2 in the afternoon with your vintage car?
I gave defendant my phone number. She said she called me back, talk it over with her friend. She called me back in about a half hour and said, yeah, let's do a deal.
Let's do a deal?
Yeah.
What do you mean, let's do a deal?
Well, she proposed to rent it. I proposed to sell it. She said she couldn't afford to buy it, so I said...
How much did you want it for?
$20. I wanted $700.
You wanted $700 for the car?
That's all I wanted. She agreed, and I agreed we'll rent it for $20 a day. She went home to talk to her friend. I went home to download a rental car agreement off the internet. I had the paperwork downloaded. I picked them up, and she gave me $20 for the first day. We signed the paperwork. I gave her the keys.
Let me see the paperwork. So you just wanted the car for a week, madam?
No, ma'am.
Did you sign this agreement?
Yeah, when I met Barry on the 22nd, he told me he had cars for rental, 3 cars. I told him I had to talk to my girlfriend and that I would call him back. I did that. We went to go look at the cars. I rented 1 car.
It says here that you're renting this car, and it says what car it is, from March 22nd to March 29th.
Mm-hmm. He did all the receipts. I also have those. But I wanted to purchase the car. It wasn't rental. And I started renting because I was not working at the time.
All I asked you was, you were supposed to return this vehicle on March 30th. That's what you signed. That's your name.
Yeah, I signed that.
Did you return the car on March 30th?
No, I did not.
Why not?
Because I made more payments towards the car. I was buying the car from him.
Did you have a subsequent agreement?
No. We kept doing the rental contracts. But I would pay him more than going towards the purchase of the car.
Show me. First of all, how long did you keep the car?
Until April 14th.
You kept it for an additional 2 weeks. Okay. Go ahead, sir.
That's not correct, Your Honor. She took 2 rental agreements out. She didn't bring the car back. I had to go to her to get the payments and check on the car because she had moved like 15 miles from me. It began like, she was paying me like 3 days in a row. She paid me. At the beginning of the first contract, she paid me the $20.
How many days did she keep the car, sir?
She had the car like 22 days. From the 22nd of March to the...
14th of April.
Right.
22 days. And let's do this so that I don't make a mistake. 22 times 20 equals $440. So that's what she should have paid you.
That's correct.
And that's what you would like. correct?
ma'am.
How much did you pay him?
I paid him more than the receipts that he has given.
How much do you claim that you paid him?
Can my witness come up?
No! How much do you claim that you paid him?
Almost $600 for the car. That was supposed to be bought for $700.
Almost $600.
Almost $600.
Good. And how many receipts do you have, and how much do they total?
$420.
Let me see them, please. I have $400.
If you look, there might be one with the same date and same amount on it. I think I accidentally wrote 2 receipts for one payment.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's
This is
one
a
for
different one.
$80.
This
One
is a
is the
different
white,
one.
yeah.
Right, I'm deducting $80 because it covers the same period
Right.
from 4-3.
I accidentally gave her the wrong
Absolutely
copy
right.
and everything.
Absolutely right. Minus 80, because she gave me a duplicate, equals 320, and she was supposed to give you 440. Ms. LaSalle, that's what you got. You gave him $320.
Can I speak, Your Honor?
Sure.
He just wrote out receipts. When he came to pick up the vehicle, he went home and just wrote out receipts. The only one receipt that me and Barry had actually made was the yellow receipt. So he just made up receipts for whatever he wanted to make out the receipts. I had the car almost paid for.
Just a second. Almost is not good enough. The only proof, and it's proof that you gave me of what you paid for, are these. That's what you gave me. And it says that you're $120 short. What else, sir?
Friday the 13th, she said, come pick up the car. The car's all empty, it's at her house. She was supposed to bring the car back. So I get a friend of mine, we go up to Jeannie's house, get the car, and I said, when are you gonna have my money? She said, next Friday. We took off, went home. I called her the following Friday. She's not gonna pay me my money, I'm not gonna get any money. So I gave her another week, the 27th, which is the day I filed the lawsuit. Jeannie, am I gonna get my money? You ain't getting nothing. Do what you got to do. And that's when I went to the courthouse. The night while I was driving it back, like I said, it's 15 miles. The front end was shaky. It's a front-wheel drive car, and it's dark. It's like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. I couldn't see anything. So the next morning, I went out and inspected the car. The right front tire is very low. I take it to a mechanic, have him look at it and get new tires, and they gave me an estimate of what the damages was because the front end suspension was damaged. I've got damages on the car. The car wasn't brought back in the same state that I gave it to her. And
Fine. You wanted to sell the car, sir, for $700. Listen to me.
I wanted to sell it.
Shh. Look at me. You wanted to sell the car for $700.
Correct.
You're going to get $440 for her. Use of the car. You're a couple of $100 short of what you wanted to sell it for. Where is the car now?
I have the car.
Do you drive it?
Yeah, I drive it.
Do you rent it to other people?
No, I don't.
But you use it yourself.
Yes, I do.
So look at what you have. You wanted to sell the car for $700. You're going to get $440, which means that you're just a few dollars off from what you wanted to sell it for, and you have your car. Isn't that great?
Sounds good.
Be happy. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $120, which is what she owes you. Thank you very much. That's all.
19-year-old Alicia Schmidt is suing her former friend, 19-year-old Stephanie Camasera, for unpaid babysitting fees. Stephanie says it's Alicia's own fault that she didn't get paid.
Do you need a shawl?
No.
Did you get confused as to where you were going today?
No.
That's the way you think you should go to court?
No.
She actually allowed you to babysit for her children?
Her child, yes.
Anyway, you claim she owes you for some babysitting. She says that the state was supposed to pay you, but you didn't fill out the appropriate paperwork. That's your defense, right?
Yeah, she filled it out, but
She filled it out wrong? I could believe
it
that.
never went through.
So your agreement was she was going to babysit for your child, and she was going to get paid by the state because you were doing some work there?
I was working at Sunoco, and
What is that?
It's a convenience store.
What were you doing at the store?
Cashier.
How much were you earning?
$7.25
an hour.
Yeah.
And how much were you bringing home every week?
Between $200 and $250.
And who else were you living with?
Just me and my son.
Were you paying rent?
Yes.
How much?
$219.
In an apartment?
Yes.
Where do you come from?
Buffalo, New York.
Isn't it cold in Buffalo?
And it's getting warmer.
Now, how long did you watch the baby?
Huh? Oh. Sorry.
How long did you watch the baby?
For a month and a half.
Is that what you do for a living, babysit?
No. I
Well, what
did
do you
it because me and her have been friends since we were like 12, 13 years old, and to help her out.
Well, the state didn't pay you. So did you tell her that you thought she should pay you?
Yeah, I did. And I told her when she got her taxes back this year to give me money out of her taxes for that, and then I would leave it alone, and she didn't do that.
Did you get money back from your taxes?
Yes.
How much did you get?
$750 around.
Did you think you should give your friend some money?
I never told her I was going to pay her.
Well, you told her that she was going to get paid for watching your son.
Not out of my money.
Well, she's going to get paid out of your money. You got paid. She wasn't doing this as a favor. She was doing it because she expected to get paid. And if the state didn't pay her for some reason and you did not follow up, which I assume you didn't, is that right?
I called many times to try and see why it wasn't coming.
And so
we
did
both
you,
did.
Did you?
My case was being closed at the time.
So you didn't get an answer?
Nope.
So now you have to pay her.
Why would I pay her when I never said anything about paying her?
I just tried to explain it to you. And I want you to try to put on your listening ears. She was babysitting for your child for money. The state was supposed to pay her. She filled out the forms, according to what you told me.
Mm-hmm.
You said you called many times. You didn't get an answer as to why they weren't paying her. And then you stopped calling because you were closing your welfare case. That doesn't mean she doesn't get paid because she did the work for you. So you have to pay her. Do you understand?
Yeah. I mean...
And you got back $750 in your taxes. So you're going to get paid, but you're not going to get paid $2,000 because that's ridiculous. You didn't earn $2,000 probably a whole year. But you have to get paid something for the work that you did, judgment for the plaintiff, in the amount of $350. That's all. Thank you.
All these are excused. You may step out.
25-year-old Rayanne Fisher is suing her ex-boyfriend, Brandon Wolf, for writing a bad check on a shared bank account.
Miss Fisher, this young man used to be your boyfriend, and you actually lived together. You made the mistake, because you didn't listen to Mother, of opening up a joint bank account with him while you were living together. And after you broke up, he wrote out a check. There was no money in the account, but there was evidently one of those privileges that allows you to write checks even though you don't have money in the account, and you were forced to pay the check because there was no money in the account. And you want him to pay the money back, plus whatever fees were charged to you. Mr. Wolf has an interesting defense and an interesting counterclaim. First, let's discover when you broke up. Date.
The date was July 11th of 06.
And when did you write out this check?
I don't actually have the actual date of it.
But I'm sure you do.
Yes, I do. July 16th of 06.
After the bloom was off the rose, right? Yes. And at the time, Mr. Wolf, were you aware of the fact that there was no money in the account?
Yes, I was.
So tell me why you did that, sir.
First,
tell me why you did it. Then tell me why you don't think you're responsible to pay her back the money for it, and then we'll get to your counterclaim.
Okay. I set up with the finance company to where it was a post-dated check.
For what?
For a down payment on my Jeep.
So you gave the finance company a post-dated check?
Yes.
And?
And I had plans on putting the money in the account within the 2 weeks of my next paycheck.
Yes.
By that time, she had already paid this off.
Well, they had to have deposited the check. What do you mean, Mr. Wolf? I want you to try to clear out the fuzzies in your brain. Now, if you had put the money in the account before they cashed the check, there would be no problem. She wouldn't have known anything, right? So you didn't put the money in the account.
No.
Or the finance company cashed the check before they were supposed to.
Correct.
Well, which one is it? I gave you two choices. They can't be both correct.
They actually cashed the check before the post date.
Well, so the bank probably shouldn't have done that, right?
Right.
But you had the money.
Right. It was a misunderstanding.
Fine. So why didn't you give Miss Fisher back the money? Since you had the money, let me give it to you this way. You had the money. That's what you told me.
Right.
You were going to put it in the bank.
Correct.
Your finance company, for your truck, deposited the check early. That's what you're telling me.
Correct.
But you had the money. What's your first name?
Rayanne.
Say to Rayanne, I'm sorry, this was all a misunderstanding. I have the money. I'm going to give you back whole. Why didn't you give her back the money?
Well, what happened is on my Jeep, I ended up getting it repoed from me.
What month?
It was August, I think.
So we're talking about now in July. July, you had the money
Right.
to pay the down payment, so why didn't you just give it to Rayanne, who paid the overdraft protection on the truck?
I never asked her to pay it.
Who cares? You had it. Why didn't you take care of it?
I didn't feel I had to.
Standing here today, do I change your mind, sir?
No.
Well, then you're an idiot. You the girlfriend?
I'm the fiance.
Fiance. I think twice about making babies with him. Listen, your debt, your problem. You had the money.
Right.
I also don't believe that a finance company takes a post-dated check and allows you to take a car. That is a lot of who shot John. So, now that I've already determined that you owe her the money, how much money does he owe you?
$592.90.
$592.92. That's what you owe her. Now I am prepared, sir, to listen to your counterclaim.
What happened is I was in the hospital for a week, and one of my payments fell through on my Jeep.
Another payment fell through.
Yes.
Like an accident looking to happen.
They sent a tow truck to her house.
To whose house?
Rand's house.
Why would they think it's at her house?
Because it was registered under the address.
So the tow truck came to the house and said, where's the truck? Go ahead.
She brought the tow truck over to my sister's house, had it towed, sat
No,
in...
no. She didn't have anything towed.
Oh. She brought the tow truck over to my sister's
They
house.
said, where is this car?
Right.
And she said, it's not here. Maybe it's at his sister's house. I'll show you where that is. Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
So
correct. She sat in the parking lot also, took pictures, sent them to me on my phone, and also put them up on her MySpace page.
So what? So what?
I didn't feel that was right.
Maybe she would have felt more kindly if she wasn't out $600 for your truck while you're fooling around with your new fiancé. Do you understand? One
Yes,
good
ma'am.
turn deserves another. Your counterclaim's dismissed. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $592.92. Thank you.
As long as I choose, you may step out.
Brenda O'Henley and her brother Daniel are suing their former tenant, Jared Debnam, for unpaid rent and utilities. Jared says his living arrangements were substandard, so he's not paying.
You are brother and sister, is that correct? Yes. You bought a condo together?
Yes, 2 years ago.
You live together?
Yes.
Great. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Get along?
Yeah.
Work
For the
together,
most
too.
part.
Fabulous. How much was this condo?
It was $770,000. It's now worth $950,000.
Perfect. So you bought this condo and you did a very foolish thing. You decided to take in a third roommate.
Yes.
That would be you. And according to your complaint, he owes you a whole bunch of money for rent and primarily for rent and utilities. Mr. Debnam says, well, there was never really a formal agreement about him paying so much per month, and he's got a whole host of other problems that he encountered while living with you. You moved a girlfriend in shortly after he moved in, so he didn't feel as if that was right. There was a leak, and some of his clothes got moldy, right?
Correct.
Have you always lived in the United States of America?
Yes, I have.
So you know that this is what we call a free country.
Correct.
If you don't like something or if you don't like a place where you're living, what can you do?
Choose to move on?
You don't choose to stay, kvetch, and don't pay. You move on to where there isn't a girlfriend, where there isn't a leak, where there isn't mold, but you don't stay and don't pay. Now, you lived there for a year, and you did pay some money in a bulk. You know, you didn't pay it by month because you were sort of not working, whatever. You got a check, and you gave them $4,000.
Well, that was just a part of the check from one of my financial aid checks.
Did you have your own bedroom?
Yes.
Did you have your own bathroom?
No.
Who did you share the bathroom with?
Everybody that used the house. As far as the communal upstairs bathroom, so it wasn't just my bathroom.
And what were you supposed to pay a month?
Before we moved in, I told him, being a graduating senior, that my money was based solely upon receiving periodic financial aid checks, at which time I told him this is how I'd be able to pay him whatever money. And so he knew about the situation before.
Tell me what he knew.
He knew that I would be getting financial aid checks each semester.
Fine.
And
So
that
you
from
did
those
get a-
checks, I would pay him what I could towards the money for living at his place.
Without any set amount? So you could have given him, let's say, $500 for 6 months, and that would have been okay.
No, Your Honor. He wanted to pay, or come to a limit to pay $750 a month.
Ah, okay. You know, I knew if you let you
Oh,
talk long enough, if I let you talk long enough, eventually we were going to get someplace close to the truth, sir. So, according to you, he wanted $750 a month, which you agreed to pay when you got your financial aid checks.
Correct.
How much did you give him?
A little less than $7,500 total.
So that would be for 10 months. Did he give you $7,500?
Overtime, yes.
So how much do you think he owes you?
I've come up with about $6,000.
For what?
Well, it was $750 plus utilities and a sticker for him to park his car. I actually have a breakdown of the whole payment history that I
don't need the
received.
whole payment history. If you acknowledge that he paid you $7,500, that's for 10 months. That means he owes you 3 months' rent, which is $2,250.
Well, do you not include utilities in that?
It does not include utilities,
Our
sir.
agreement included utilities.
Show me in writing. Well, what I'm telling you is, if you allow somebody to live with you for 13 months and do not collect utilities from them on a regular basis, I'm not going to waste my precious time with 2 graduate degrees and go over month-to-month Con Edison bills. What I'm telling you is, if you got $750 a month from him, Mr. O'Henley, we wouldn't be standing here today.
Exactly.
Okay.
But
And that's exactly what I'm going to give you.
I would
$750 a month for 13 months. He's already paid you for 10, which means he owes you $2,250. Now, is there any reason why I shouldn't enter a judgment in that amount, sir?
Just for the living condition that I was provided with when living at this place. This is why he didn't receive, or what I feel he got paid the full amount of what I was provided living at this place.
That's why we talked about a free country,
Correctly.
Mr. Debnam.
Correct. And so
Free
that
country
was my
means
only
you.
complaint.
Who's the person that's raising her hand that's irritating
I would
me?
agree. Except for I just didn't have the opportunity.
Who's the person raising their hand that's irritating me?
This is my fiance. And she's the person who lived with me at this place, not lived, but came and stayed at my place. Or not
So
our
it
place,
wasn't
excuse me.
only his girlfriend that stayed. Your
No.
girlfriend stayed too?
I'm sorry.
Just a second.
4 or 5 days a week.
So it wasn't only his girlfriend that stayed. It was your girlfriend that stayed.
My girlfriend would come there every other weekend and spend
So?
the weekend. Correct.
So she stayed. And if she didn't like living there because of the cold and the mold, she wouldn't have come. Right?
Right.
Should have gone to her house. By not stand there and kvetch, sir, that you didn't like the circumstances and you stayed anyway. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,250. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Lynette Young claims ex-boyfriend Robert Mangum owes for a loan and for an assault. Robert admits he put his hands on Lynette, but claims she refused to leave his property.
Ms. Young, this used to be your boyfriend. He's not your boyfriend anymore. You claim that you loaned him some money and that he, at some point, sort of assaulted you, although it was an argument that went very badly. Mr. Mangum says that the money that you did, in fact, give him was a gift. There was never any discussion of repayment, and that this assault that you're talking about was as a result of your own actions, that you were a hot-tempered nut and he did nothing but try to escape you. Tell me about this money. When did you give it to him and where did it come from?
February 16th, it came from my accounts.
Can I see from where?
Yes, it's right here.
Where did you take this money from?
It was from my savings accounts.
And you took it out in cash?
Cash.
And what did you do with it?
I let the defendant borrow $1,100 from it, and I spent $900 of it.
Now, you gave him $1,100. And what did you do with it, sir?
I was supposed to buy a car, but it didn't go that way. You know, she spent all her money, so...
You were supposed to buy a car.
Right.
Did you
But
put
she
the money...
blew all her...
I'm speaking. When she gave you the $1,100, where did you put it?
I just had it in my pocket. It was in my possession. I didn't put it in the bank anywhere because it's supposed to be for me to buy a car. But she blew all her money, so I had to use the money to take care of her now.
He was going to say that no matter what happened.
Right, I mean, I'm trying to tell you what happened.
I ask questions. When I want you to do a monologue, I'll ask you.
It's not a monologue. I was answering the question.
No, I just asked you where you put the money. You said in my pocket.
In my possession. Sorry.
Right. You see, we're going to do this in an orderly fashion, like I say.
It's supposed to be used to buy a car.
I have a feeling they look like, look, see, that's attitude. Look at the attitude, right? Attitude, attitude. That looks like a match made in heaven. So she gave you this $1,100. You're supposed to use it to buy a car.
Right.
But you didn't buy a car. You bought a watch instead.
No, I didn't buy a watch. Ben had the watch. Ben had the watch.
What did he say?
Ben had the watch.
Ben- So what'd you do with the money?
Help take care of her, because she blew all her money.
What did she blow her money on?
Ask her.
What'd you blow your money on, the $900? What'd you buy?
I actually blow my money.
What did you buy with it?
I have to eat, I have to pay my bills, I have my own apartment,
Yeah.
and I have to put gas and things in my car. So I didn't actually blow my money.
Well, so you spend your money on your own bills.
On myself.
On yourself.
Doing
on
things that I had to
things.
do.
Tell her the truth.
Shh. Just a second. Why should she tell me the truth? That would
'Cause
make
she's not
it so
telling the truth.
unusual here.
She's not telling the truth.
Okay, so
I
you
thought
blew,
this is a
she
place of
blew her
justice.
money and you had to use the $1,100 on her. What did you use it on? Give me an example.
Food, going out, rent, cell phone bills, all of that nature.
Were you-
But I was supposed to be buying me a car. That was
Were you living
specifically
together?
for. Yo, huh? Excuse me? You're not speaking loud enough.
The problem is your mouth isn't closed. So when your mouth is not closed, you
asked me a
can't hear me.
question.
You can't hear me. I said, were you living? No, you were.
No, we
quiet
weren't
for a
living
second.
together, but we was together every day. I'm answering your question. I'm just.
It's all in the timing, see.
See, we ain't connecting here. Maybe we need to slow down a little bit.
We are not connecting, sir. And for that, I say thank God.
Wow.
So you didn't buy the car with the $1,100?
No, ma'am.
You took her out to eat, took her to parties and things?
Parties, eat, shows, karaoke, everything.
I just want to know where was I at.
Just 1 second.
I'm sorry.
Just 1 second. That doesn't mean he doesn't have to pay you back. Listen to me. That doesn't mean he doesn't have to pay you back. If he decided to use this money to show you a good time, to play big man, that's his problem.
Hey.
That's his problem. You know, he chose to do that. He could have let you stay home and watch Law and Order or watch Judge Judy. He could have let you do that. You could have had just as good a time. All right. Okay. So now, Miss Young, now I want you to tell me, madam, about this assault, when it happened, and let's try to keep it legitimate, okay? Because I have a feeling that I'm going to get half a truth from each of you.
Okay, it happened probably like a month and a half ago. I was over his house.
Month and a half? What month?
What was it? June?
You're asking me? I wasn't there.
Okay, June, May, June.
May and June.
Yes.
Must have been a terrible assault if you remember May and June. Go ahead, let me hear what happened. You were over on his porch.
Okay, I was over on his porch.
You were sitting on his porch.
And he got angry because I wouldn't leave. He wanted to drive my car and go to handle some business. And he wanted me to go inside the house. And I said, no, I don't want to go in the house. He came back, drove around the block, told me, leave my house, Lynette. And I said, I'm not leaving. Why do you want me to leave? He took me by my shirt, grabbed me, drugged me off his porch with my shirt. Tried to throw me in my car. We got into a physical altercation. He scratched me up. I scratched him up. We was fighting, like just fighting. Not like punching each other, but like scratching.
Each other?
Yes. I was trying to defend myself.
Because you were trespassing on his property.
I wasn't really trespassing.
Yes, you were.
I was invited over his house.
No, Lynette, darling, when he said to you, I want you to leave my house, the invitation is over. You have to leave.
Okay, that's true.
That means you're trespassing.
But when I did say that I was about to go, you don't have to put your hands on me. I would leave on my own will. He took me by my shirt and drugged me off the porch. So that means that he didn't give me an opportunity. When he said move, I didn't move when he wanted me to move. So
That's his problem. He has a problem like that.
I didn't move
He likes
quick
to
enough
be in
for him.
charge.
I didn't move quick enough for him, so he took me by my shirt.
Did you call the police?
Yes, I did.
And he was arrested?
He was arrested.
Just a second. He was arrested. Did you follow through with the case?
Okay.
Look at me. Did you follow through with the case?
I did not.
So what do you want from me? You don't even remember the day it happened. You don't even remember the month it happened. But I'd like to hear your version of the events anyway. Go ahead.
Okay, let me give you a mental picture of this. Now, she's sitting over my house. We had a good day, you know, for probably about an hour.
You did have a good day?
We did have a good day for about an hour. Usually, that's about the extent of how long our good days last, you know. But I need to use her car. She got an attitude with me about using her car, but she finally let me use it. I'm like, just go in the house. You know, it was a bunch of stuff going on in the neighborhood.
What were you going to use her car for?
I had to go make a run. I had to go pick something up.
Make her...
Because I was supposed to be going out. I was supposed to be going out later, so I had to go pick up some clothes. So, but that's either here nor there. It was a bunch of stuff that's going on in the neighborhood, so I told her, go in the house. You know, I didn't yell at her, I didn't argue with her, just go in the house. She put on the front in front of y'all. She wanted to play Miss Model, Miss a front, an acting job, Sanaa Lathan. You know, I'm just trying to run it down to you, but in front of y'all, she want to act all nice. But when it comes to me, she's like a terrorist.
No,
She's a terrorist.
Why, just a second. That's what you like about her.
No, I actually trying to help her with her problem. I say it's a
Her
problem.
anger.
Right. It's not even anger. It's a mixture of things. She's sensitive, she's emotional, and she's a bit aggressive. So with that chemical reaction, it causes a terrorist attack. But let me get on with the story.
Get on with it in 30 seconds, sir.
30 seconds, okay. I told her to go in the house. You know, I didn't tell her I asked her to go in the house. She argued with me. Oh, I gotta go in the house. Oh, I ain't going nowhere. I'm like, all right, I ain't gonna argue with you. Just leave. She said, I ain't going nowhere. Please, can you leave? I ain't going nowhere. So I grabbed her by her waist and walked her down the stairs.
Oh, wow.
You know, so I put her in the car, got on the other side of the car, pulled off. Now, we in the car arguing, fighting, arguing. I'm like, you know what? I finally got like a mile away from the house, got to the light, and parked the car at the light, and got out the car, and started walking home. She come back to my house. Come back, talking about she gonna call the police on me. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Just leave. She called the police over there. I go over there, talk to the police, you know.
Meanwhile, you had an outstanding warrant that kept you for a while.
Right. So that's why they took me.
What was the warrant for, Mr. Mangum?
It was open alcohol.
Open alcohol?
Yeah, in the car. I wasn't driving. The alcohol was just open.
Oh, well, why didn't you go to court when you got that ticket? Huh?
I missed the court date.
You have other big things to do? What kind of work do you do, Mr. Mangum?
I used to work at Sherman-Williams, but I'm just a student now.
I used to be taller, but now I'm shorter. What do you do now? What do you do now?
I'm just a student.
A student of what?
College.
Where?
Wayne State. Criminal justice is my major. I plan to be like you one day.
Mr. Mangum, the system isn't ready for you, sir.
I know, but in a few years, they'll be ready. They tuning up for me.
All right, Mr. Mangum, you owe her $1,100. You wined her and dined her. You're a guy who's supposed to pay those things. You're not supposed to take her out with her own money. Judging for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,100, you get zero, nothing, zippo for the assault. You probably brought on yourself. That's all.
Shauna Ross is suing her cousin, 21-year-old Pauline Ross, for the value of a state-issued check. Shauna claims Pauline kept money that was intended for her.
Miss Ross, the defendant is your cousin. According to what I've read in your complaint, she had had some trouble with Child Protective Services. And there came a time that you agreed to watch her children in exchange for a state check for watching her children.
Yes.
You watched the children. She got the state checks, 2 of them, according to you.
Yes.
She cashed them both and did not give you any money. Ms. Ross says that you only watched the children a little bit. Her boyfriend watched them more than you did. So she kept the money, and she's got some countersuit about you calling Child Protective Services and making some false allegations about her after all this went down. What's your first name?
Pauline.
Pauline, how many children do you have?
3.
You're expecting another one?
Yes.
How old are you?
21.
You have enough children, Pauline?
Yes.
Did anybody ever tell you that?
Yes.
Who else told you that?
Everybody.
So add my voice to the rest of the pack. You have enough children, there are other things to do in your spare time. How old are your children?
They're 1.
You have to think about this?
No, 1, 2, and 3.
And who's the father of your 1-year-old?
Dion.
And who's the father of your 2-year-old?
I don't know.
And who's the father of your 3-year-old?
Dion.
And who's the father of this one that you're going to have now?
His name is Nick.
And how long have you been with Nick?
9 months.
Shh. Now, when your cousin was watching your children, who was your boyfriend then? Dion or Nick?
Nick.
When did your cousin watch your children?
She started April the 2nd when I started my job.
What kind of job did you have?
Waitressing.
Now, who filed the papers for your cousin to get the state check?
We both did.
And when you filed the papers, you said you were working, correct?
Right.
And you were receiving welfare?
Yes.
So they said, well, maybe they can cut some of this welfare money by giving you money to pay a babysitter to get you back in the job force, which
Yes.
will hopefully keep you out of the baby-producing business. How much did you receive in checks? Because the checks came to you, right?
Right.
How much was the first check?
The first one was $768.
And what did you do with that check?
I moved into my house.
So you used the money for yourself?
Right.
And how much was the second check?
$384.
And that was a babysitting check?
Yes, it was.
Well, Miss Ross, you don't get paid for babysitting for your own children.
No.
And Nick doesn't get paid for babysitting for your children because he hadn't filled out the papers.
Right.
So who do you think was
her, but not her, because she wasn't watching the kids like she was supposed to. And then April 12th, I got laid off. They cut my hours due to complications of my pregnancy.
Yeah. So
But
how
she was
many
still
hours
in-
did you in fact work?
20 hours per week.
How
After
many
the
weeks
12th.
did you work?
3 weeks.
3
No,
weeks?
3 weeks full time, and then they took me off.
So were you telling me, what state do you come from?
Michigan.
The state of Michigan gave you $1,152 for 3 weeks worth of babysitting?
No, no. You're
Well,
not
you got the
understanding.
2 checks just for babysitting.
Right, ma'am, she was calling in hours that she
But
wasn't watching the kids.
Just a second. I understand that, but you have to sign off on it.
I called
Miss
my-
Ross, Pauline,
Yes.
you have to sign off on it. This is yet just another scam. If you don't think that I understand that this was just another scam, I
have
do.
the paper saying that I called and said my hours were reduced. It's right here. From the caseworker.
Somebody had to sign off before you got the check, because the forms, she fills out the hours, but you have to sign off on it that she did in fact work those hours. Isn't that the way it works in Michigan?
Yes.
Of course. Works that way all over. Right? Otherwise, any babysitter could file and say, I worked 20 hours this week, unless the other person for whom she is allegedly working signs off on it. So if you people don't think that I understand that this is just another scam on the state, you're wrong. I got it. You worked 3 weeks and got checks for $1,152. You know what I'm doing with this case? I'm sending a tape of it to the state of Michigan so they can come after you and take the money out of your welfare money. This was a good scam that the 2 of you cousins cooked up together.
No.
Because there is no way that I believe.
I didn't say I got paid for 3 weeks. I was working full time for 3 weeks. I called the caseworker. Here's the paper, the document showing when I called to say that my hours were reduced to 20 hours per week. So therefore, she supposed to have cut down the maximum hours which she supposed to call in.
Miss Ross, you are not entitled to keep that check.
I know that.
So, just a second. So why did you keep it?
Because she wasn't babysitting the whole time.
You don't get it. Why don't you just send the money back to them? You don't move into your apartment with it, madam. You don't take care of your expenses with it. That's not what the money is for. That's what welfare is for. That's what Dion is for.
Well, Dion don't help.
Well, that's your problem. That's not Michigan's problem. You can't keep this money. You get welfare. The fact that you don't like how much you get doesn't mean that you can scam the state out of another $1,100.
I didn't scam. I paid the person that was watching the kids.
Yeah, show me.
Me and Nicholas.
Show me. I want to see the person who was watching the kids.
Me and Nicholas spent the money together for it, and I paid Lakeisha.
Listen to me. Lakeisha wasn't authorized by the state to watch your children. Neither was Nick. And you don't get paid for watching your own children. Madam, if you think that I'm going to give you $1,152, you are out of your mind. What the state should do is, and I'm going to send them a copy of the tape, is go against her welfare checks to redeem $1,152. And then let them decide where the $1,152 is going to go. That's what the state of Michigan ought to do. So they have to get the money back, and then they're going to give it to you. Thank you very much. That's all. Goodbye.
James Herring says his ex-girlfriend's boyfriend, John Chavez, owes for a loan to bail him out of jail. John says it's James's fault he was arrested in the first place.
Oh, that's interesting. Mr. Herring, you and Mr. Chavez share a girlfriend. Not at the same time.
No.
She was your girlfriend, then she was Mr. Chavez's girlfriend, then briefly she was your girlfriend, now she's back with Mr. Chavez, and if my reading of these documents is correct, this would be the lovely Jennifer. And according to your complaint, despite the fact that you had not been together, according to you now, for 1.5 years, you had some mail for her.
Yes, ma'am.
So you took her to her house.
Yes, Your Honor.
And when you got to her house, there was a confrontation with Mr. Chavez. And according to you, Mr. Chavez was arrested.
Yes, Your Honor.
You bailed him out of jail.
Yes, Your Honor.
Even though he assaulted you.
Yes, Your Honor.
On his promise to pay you back the bail money. which he has not done.
Yes, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Chavez says you felt terribly guilty about what happened. You came, bailed him out of jail. There was never any promise to pay you back. All very peculiar. Mr. Herring, did you know Mr. Chavez before this incident?
I met him through Miss Jennifer Berger, but I have not known him prior to her relationship with him.
When did you and Miss Berger terminate your relationship?
January 2006, maybe somewhere in that area.
Is that right, Miss Berger?
No.
When was it?
It's over 2 years. I've been with Don for over 2 years, so.
No, don't look at him. Look at me.
I've been with Don for over 2 years, so it has to be.
Okay, you lived together?
Yes, we lived together at one time.
How long did you live together?
About 2.5 years.
What kind of work do you do, Mr. Herring?
I'm a stockbroker, venture capitalist.
What kind of work do you do, Mr. Chavez?
Hardwood floors.
What kind of work does the lovely Jennifer do?
She doesn't.
She doesn't do any kind of work.
Well, she doesn't have a job.
She's a full-time job.
Yes, very much so.
Now, you last lived together with Jennifer 2 years ago.
We still share a residence occasionally.
What does that mean, sir?
Basically, she still has a lot of her things at my house. However, she does see Mr. Chavez from time to time, and she goes over there and spends some time, and then for whatever reason, then she comes back and stays at my house. We've become very good, close friends, and so she always has a place to stay in the event that she needs a place.
But you said you didn't talk in 2 years. Stand up.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I said we haven't been together for over 2 years.
No, you said you hadn't talked in 2 years.
I didn't say talked.
What?
I didn't say talked. Misunderstanding.
You said you haven't been together.
Right.
In 2 years.
But during the 2 years, I've been over the house. I'm mostly with John.
Mostly with your boyfriend. Now, you live together as a boyfriend and girlfriend?
It's been on and off-ish.
What is your legal residence?
With Jim.
Mr. Herring.
Yeah.
You are three of the weirdest people that I've come in contact with. It's a very, very long time.
It gets weirder.
It's ridiculous.
The whole thing is ridiculous,
Well,
unless there's
absolutely.
something that I'm not seeing here.
Absolutely ridiculous.
All right, miss, when did this incident happen? When you went over to take Jennifer, the lovely Jennifer, some mail, according to you, that had come to the house?
I don't know the exact date. You're on the 7th or the 6th of March.
Of what year?
Of this year.
Go ahead.
And then I bailed him out on the 10th of March.
Oh, what happened when you went over there?
Well, when I went over to give her her mail, I called her and let her know I was coming by. She had a driver's license, her registration to her car, etc. She'd been gone for about 4 or 5 days. So I went over and I knocked at his door, and she answered the door. She came out, and I gave her her mail. I said, I'm going to be leaving. I don't want any confrontations with Mr. Chavez.
Why should you have any confrontation with him?
Because I've had him in the past.
Go ahead.
And so I started to walk away, and she came out and talked with me for a minute, and then he came out and got right in my face and started to assault me. And at that time, I turned around and I told him that I was going to call the police. I went out to my car and I called 911. The police came. They talked to me for a few minutes. Then they went down and talked to Mr. Chavez. And apparently the conversation was that they could decipher who started the fight, so to speak. They didn't press any charges against him or me. However, he did have a warrant out for him, an outstanding traffic warrant for $25,000 warrant.
$25,000 warrant for not registering his car?
No,
Unlikely.
I don't know what it was, ma'am. I think it was a headlight or something, but it was a $25,000.
You must have really ticked off a judge, Mr. Chavez.
So they arrested him.
I'm speaking.
Yes, so they arrested
I'm speaking.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Chavez, you must have really ticked off a judge to put $25,000 bail on you for a broken headlight.
It was for no registration on the vehicle, driving without a driver's license in possession, and no proof of insurance.
And when did you receive this violation?
2004. But I was working for a guy that owned a car lot, and I was driving one of his vehicles back to the lot and got pulled over. And I, from the understanding that his dealer plates were not currently...
What do his dealer plates have to do with your not having a driver's license?
Well, I just didn't have it in my possession.
Mr. Chavez, I've been in the justice system. How old are you?
I'm 42.
Not quite as long as you've been on this earth. But a $25,000 bail on what amounts to nothing more than driving without registration for the car doesn't sound kosher to me, Mr. Chavez. Do you understand what I mean?
Oh, no, I understand what you're saying, but it was because of his dealer plates that were on the vehicle, and the dealer plates were supposedly not up to current registration. So...
Yes. Oh. So they took him into custody.
Yes, ma'am.
And tell me how it came about that you went and bailed him out, Mr. Herring.
I just, for whatever reason, decided to go down to the LA County Jail to talk to him. I wanted to find out why he had such animosity towards me.
You mean you wanted to find out that question? I can tell you the answer to that question in a second. The lovely Jennifer.
Yes, well, yes, ma'am. But I wanted to find out for myself why there was just such anger and so on and so forth, because I did not have any anger towards Mr. Chavez at all. If Jennifer wanted to see John or be with him, I had no problem with it.
You may not, but he does.
Yeah, apparently. So I went in there and I talked with him, and he...
You live in Los Angeles, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. It's all very strange here. Go ahead.
So I was visiting with him, and he'd been in for 2 or 3 days at that point in time.
2 or 3 days on a traffic infraction.
He pleaded with me and begged with me. He even started to sob. He begged me to post bail for him because of his daughter. He also promised at that time that if I bailed him out, he would most definitely pay me back.
Go ahead, Mr. Chavez, let me hear.
Yeah, that's all untrue. You know, I'm not scared of saying that I cry, but I'm not going to be crying to him. All right, that's first off. Second off,
just tell me what happened.
When he came to visit me, he wanted to know why there was such animosity and what he could do to not have the animosity between us anymore. And I said, well, you don't want no animosity? Bail me out. He bailed me out, and that was it.
And when, for the first time, did he ask you for this money back?
Actually, he asked Jennifer to give me a letter, but she never gave it to me.
Why? Why didn't you give it?
I said I wouldn't. I didn't receive it from him.
Your Honor?
He asked me to give him some papers, but I didn't want to get involved. I said, this is between the two of you. You deal with it. I'm out of it. I wasn't going to serve. It was, I think, to serve him.
When was your next court date?
March 12th.
And what date did he bail you out? Do you recall? Do you recall, sir?
March 10th.
March 10th.
And you had already been there for 5 days?
Yes, ma'am.
Had you been in jail before, Mr. Chavez?
Yes, ma'am.
Same jail?
Yes, ma'am.
For how long?
30 days.
And did you do the 30 days?
Yes, ma'am.
So, doing 5 days must have been easy.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Herring?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't believe he promised to pay you back. I believe him. I believe him when he says that you said to him, what can I do to make this right? And he said to you, bail me out, and you did. Because I don't understand why, if the lovely Miss Jennifer had gotten her license and a registration for her car, you drive a car? Huh?
License is suspended.
For what reason?
For driving under suspended license.
Your license is suspended for driving on a suspended license?
DUIs. And DUIs. Combination of the two.
You people are all too confusing and I'm much too old.
I got 3 DUIs and 4.
Mr. Herring, you can't have it both ways, sir. If Jennifer, and she's clearly with Mr. Chavez, I suggest that you cut all ties with her. I don't know what Miss Jennifer is doing for you that allows you to believe that someone who is living with somebody yet has an avenue to come back to live with you, you know, as sort of a safe haven. You're a safe house. This whole thing is very, very bizarre. And your visit to the jail is even more bizarre. No. And the fact that you fronted money for his bail is even more bizarre. And I'm a very easygoing, you know, meat and potatoes Brooklyn girl. I don't get all this mishigas. Your case is dismissed, Mr. Herring. That's all.
David Davis claims ex-wife Jamie Leathers falsely accused him of harassing her.
Mr. Davis, the defendant is your former wife, and it is your claim that she filed a false accusation against you, and she was seeking to get a restraining order against you. You were forced to hire an attorney. The case was subsequently dismissed. You want her to pay your attorney's fees and damages.
Yes, ma'am.
Your former wife says the accusations that she made in the application for the protective order were true, and she says that you were threatening and abusive, and she's going to prove that to me. You have one child together who is now 5.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. You've been divorced since when?
Divorce was final January 2006.
And when did you separate?
June of 2004.
Reading between the lines of your complaint and the defendant's answer, there has been some acrimonious stuff going on between the two of you, at least in part owing to the fact that you are in substantial arrears in your child support.
That's her attention, yes. Yes.
I'm reading between the lines,
Okay.
sir, because I'm an experienced family court practitioner, that if you're divorced, that means you don't like each other anymore. Are you remarried?
No, ma'am.
Are you remarried?
Yes, I am.
So, she's not mad because you have a life and she doesn't. She's happy. She's married. Are you happily married?
Actually, my husband and I are separated.
Not happily married.
But we are best friends, and I see him about 3 times a week.
All right. But she's not mad at you because she doesn't have a life, and you do. She's mad at you, sir, because you don't pay regular child support.
Ma'am, may I?
Yes.
I agreed to pay child support from the day I left of $600 a month. I've been paying that up until I got laid off in June 11th of 2006. I phoned Miss Leathers. I told her I was laid off, that I could not afford the that I could not afford the $600 a month. We could handle it one of 2 ways. Once I received what my unemployment benefits would be, I would give you a set amount every month until I find another job.
When did you find, listen to me, when did you find another job?
January.
January of what?
Of this year.
What kind of work do you do?
I do aircraft fueling technicians. I refuel aircrafts. I work on fuel cells of aircrafts.
How did you support yourself between June of 2006 and January of 2007? Who were you living with?
My girlfriend, Patricia, and I was receiving unemployment benefits.
So you had no rent?
Correct.
How much were you sending the defendant between June and January?
Well, Your Honor,
that requires a figure.
They were taking the money directly out of my unemployment benefits. When I told her I could not afford the $600 a month, I told her that I would go back to family court and I would file a petition for modify my child support.
Why should you get a modification?
I'm no longer making the money I was making before. Nowhere near it.
Then get 2 jobs.
I have 2 jobs. Your Honor, I have my daughter 12 to 14. I have my daughter almost 50% of the time.
That is untrue.
If you interrupt him again, it's not going to go well.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You agreed to pay her $600 a month. Your divorce was final in January 2006. According to you, up until January of 2006, you were paying $600 a month because you separated in 2004.
Yes, ma'am.
All of a sudden, divorce is final, and 5 months later, you say, I can't pay you the $600 a month anymore. Now I need a modification.
I was laid off from work.
That's fine. You can be laid off from work. That doesn't mean you can't work. When you have children, you have to say, I don't care what I do. I drive a cab, I collect cans, I go to a car wash, I do whatever else I have to do to contribute to the support of my child. Who do you work for?
I'm a school teacher.
She teaches, she contributes to the support of the child. I have support of the child, and if I can't do it fueling planes, I'll do it doing something else until I can get a job refueling planes. Now, having said that, sir, all I said to you was that's the reason for the acrimony, because you haven't been paying child support regularly. That being the case, she's going to tell me about why she filed this protective order and when. When did you file this protective order, Miss Leathers?
The middle of November 2006.
And on what basis did you file the protective order?
As he said, he and I separated in June of 2004. By the first week of July of 2004,
I'm not interested in anything that happened in 2004. Nothing.
Okay.
I'm interested in anything that happened the 3 months immediately preceding November of 2006.
Good.
When you filed for a protective order.
Okay.
Period.
August 10th, 2006, I went to pick up my daughter. My mother was with me and my stepfather. He dropped off my daughter and he said, your game is over, Jamie. I've had a private investigator follow you and I have your bank account information. And I looked at my mother and I said, these are the kinds of things I'm talking about. My mom said, you take your daughter, you keep walking. So my stepfather and I walked.
Well, I don't know what he meant by that. What did you
I didn't
mean?
know what he meant by that
What
either.
did you mean by that, sir?
Your Honor, the man she's been living with, the man she married, this is the whole root of the problem we've been having. This man she met on the internet and moved out here from Chicago. I had concerns about the welfare of my daughter. She's allowing this man to take my daughter to the public restroom. She's
Your
allowed
Honor,
this. She allowed.
listen to me. Listen to me. That's not your business.
It's my daughter, my 2-year-old daughter.
It's not, listen to me. It's not your business, just as it's not her business that you're living with this lady. And the one thing we both care about is our child. And neither one of us would do anything to the child that would cause the child harm, unless, of course, you have proof that somebody is causing them damage. If she complained to me that she didn't like the fact that when your daughter was at your house, you let her crawl into bed with you and your girlfriend, I would say, that's none of your business. And I'm saying to you, your concerns about somebody that she met, whether she met him on the internet, or she met him in a park, or she met him at McDonald's, are none of your business. Now,
Your Honor.
all I want to know is, what games were you talking about, sir?
I'm talking about the games where she has accused me to this man. Since she met this man, I have wanted to meet him. The three of them were at a restaurant. My 2-year-old daughter says she has to go to the bathroom. This man gets up and takes my daughter to the public restroom. I asked Ms. Letters, why is he taking my daughter to the restroom? I'm saying, you're the mother. That is our daughter.
That's none of your business.
I believe it is, Your Honor.
And I'm telling you,
this woman allows some man she met on the internet to move out here to Chicago and take my daughter to the restroom?
Her husband.
No, at the time it was not her husband. The only reason they got married, they married 4 days after this restraining order was dismissed, because I raised these same issues in the courtroom that day, and they got married 4 days later.
And what happened, Mr. Davis, when you raised the same issues? What did the judge say to you? Did the judge say, oh, my God? Oh, my God, we best call Child Protective Services immediately? Is that what the judge said to you?
No, ma'am. The judge did not respond.
Excuse me?
The judge did not respond to those issues.
That's right. The judge did not respond. Listen, you don't have control anymore, sir. If you believe that someone is doing something that is not in your child's best interest and is harmful, abusive, or neglectful, your responsibility is to go to court or call Child Protective Services if you want to play that game. I would discourage you from doing that, but you don't start up with her. Just as she would have no sympathy from me if she said, I don't believe that my daughter has any right to stay at their house. She does stay at your house, doesn't she?
Yes, she does.
And occasionally crawls into bed with you?
Yes, she does. Sometimes she does.
And you sleep with her?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And she's your girlfriend? Inappropriate?
I don't believe so.
Oh, well, who set you up to be the moral monitor?
Well,
You're a moral, just a second. You're a moral monitor. You have now a 5-year-old child who knows that you're not married to this lady, that you share a bed with her. I don't know what you wear when you go to sleep, and I don't know what she wears when she goes to sleep, but she crawls into bed with you. And if she said to me, I'm not letting my daughter go there anymore, if he's going to let my daughter crawl into bed with her, I would say to her, it's not your business. She loves her father. This is her father's significant other. I don't like significant others. I think you should be either married or not. But it's the 21st century. I'm coming into the 21st century. It's not your business. And I say the same thing to you. It's not your business.
I respectfully disagree.
Well, I don't give a rat's behind, sir. That's why I sit here. That's why I sit here, and I have been in this business for 40 years.
Yes, ma'am, I understand that.
40 years. And I'm telling you, you got to let go of it. Now, I want you to tell me what you meant when you said the game is over.
I meant that for the last 2 years, she has been putting my daughter in situations where my daughter has no business being involved with.
Your Honor, I'm a school teacher. I'm a
Listen to me.
kindergarten teacher.
Listen to me.
The
Listen
fact
to
that
me.
she moved in with a man and didn't know, that says a lot.
Listen to me. I'm getting the gist of it.
Okay.
I want to know what he said to you that inspired you to file for a protective order.
The private investigator I found alarming.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking somebody's following me
Fine.
around. And
Private investigator, he's allowed to hire a private
Right.
investigator if he wants to.
And then I get phone messages as well as phone calls, calling me names.
You say that in your answer that you saved those.
Yes.
I'd like to hear them. Give it to Burke, please.
That's it.
Okay, so you have one
I mean,
message.
I have
where-
message after message after message, but that was the one that I thought pretty much wrapped up. His anger is about the child support.
Well, yeah, so he called you a foul name.
Right.
Called
And
you a foul
I
name.
would like to say
Put
that...
your hand down, madam.
I'm sorry. It's just there's been many
Put-
messages.
Listen to me. Put your
Okay.
hand down.
Okay.
If that's the worst of it, it's not terrible.
Right.
Not nice, but not terrible. Go ahead. Keep going.
It's this vibe, I would say, as a woman, that we get our intuition. He makes me feel unsafe and uncomfortable.
Can I see the application that you filled out for the protective order?
Sure, and I can also give you, I have been keeping a log of the harassment.
When did you hire a private investigator, Mr. Davis?
Actually, Your Honor, I didn't hire a private investigator. The information that I was talking about was information I received from her mother and her father. They
Did
didn't
you
want...
just a second. Did you tell her that you had hired a private investigator?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
So you lied to her?
Yes, I did, in order to keep her mother and her father out of distance, because they're the ones who told me this information.
What information, sir?
That basically the man that she was living with was someone she didn't know from Chicago, and moved him out here to live with her and my daughter.
You're talking about something that happened how many years ago, sir?
No, but yes.
How many years ago?
It happened 2 years ago, Your Honor, but everything that happened after them getting together, him taking my daughter to the restroom, him taking my daughter to the locker room of the Y and giving her a shower.
That never happened.
Yes, it did. My daughter's swim class, yes, it did. This is when I finally said, you know what?
You can't take a girl, and a man cannot take a girl into the shower.
Miss Leathers, listen to me. Listen to me. Somebody who sleeps with his daughter in a bed with his girlfriend has no basis to complain about anything.
First of all, I get off at 3 o'clock in the morning. By the time I get home, she's already getting up for work.
Mr. Davis, you're backtracking, sir.
How is that?
There is no question in my mind when you told me that you have your daughter 50% of the time.
And that's not true.
46%.
46%.
That's not true. It's 25%, Your Honor.
The court order is right here. The court order is right
if
here.
If you interrupt him again,
I'm sorry.
I'm throwing you out.
Okay.
Do you understand?
I understand.
I'm throwing you out. There's no question in my mind, Mr. Davis, that if your daughter spent either 25 or 46% of the time in your home, that she was crawling into bed with the two of you. Now, you don't consider that wrong. That's your prerogative. You keep your nose out of her business. That's what I'm telling you. Listen, very, very lucky that you got rid of him.
I know.
You're very lucky you're very lucky that you got rid of him because he's this kind of thick. You got him. He's yours.
And he's a very nice man, Your
He's
Honor.
a
He's a very nice man.
He's a very nice man. He is a controlling. You're interrupting. He's controlling, and he doesn't see the inequality of his positions. He has to let go. He has to say, what's sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander, and I have to rely on the fact that my wife, ex-wife, who is a school teacher, who teaches children, who is an educated woman, wouldn't do anything to place my daughter at risk.
But she
and he's not. So have you.
How?
I just told you how.
This is a woman I've known for years. This is a man she met on the internet who did not know.
Oh, you're an idiot.
Did not know.
We've been
You're an
together
idiot.
2.5
You know
years.
something?
She did not know this man.
You know something? I got it. The truth is, his conduct is such that I understand why you felt threatened.
Right.
I feel that today he is unyielding and controlling, and I understand why you sort of dismissed, sir. That's all.
Oh, he's excused me. Step
Your Honor,
out.
this woman lied in her declaration. I have proof of that. She actually lied. Wow.
Marlene Lacey claims fellow motorist Sarah Rochon rammed her car during an incident of road rage. Sarah claims it was Marlene who ran into her. She is countersuing for the resulting damage.
I have a complaint and I have a counterclaim. Each of you claim road rage by the other. And Miss Lacey, you claim that the defendant assaulted you.
Yes.
The defendant denies that. So I'm used to, quite frankly, hearing about these road rage incidents with guys behind the wheel of a car. Very rarely do I see mature women who get involved with that kind of stupidity. It's very distressing. When did this happen?
March 12th of '07.
What time of the day?
3:30 p.m.
Where were you coming from or going to?
I was going to a doctor's appointment southbound on Highway 99.
Anybody in the car with you?
No.
And where were you going or coming?
I was picking up my son, going southbound on 99.
Okay, tell me what happened.
I was in the, there's a carpool lane, and then there's 3 regular lanes. Mr. Sean was a carpool because she had her daughter with her, but she was in the regular lane, and traffic was all backed up. So I was trying to get to my doctor's appointment. I rushed around her in the carpool lane and came back over real quick.
So you cut her off?
Well...
Just a second. So you cut her off?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what
Okay.
you did. Just a second. Just a second. That's exactly what you did. You cut her off.
Okay.
Now, because there is no rule that if you have more than one person in the car, you have to drive in a carpool lane. The carpool lane merely allows you to be in that lane if you're more than one person.
Correct.
But there's no requirement that you go in a carpool lane if you're 2 people.
Correct.
I question you about that, Miss Lacey, because you hear that you were annoyed with her because she should have been in the carpool lane and not taking up space in the other 3 lanes where there was traffic. That's what you seem to indicate here.
Correct.
Well, that's ridiculous. I mean, that's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard. There are tens of thousands of cars on the road. You're complaining about this lady because she didn't want to go in a fast lane with her daughter? That's ridiculous. And then you did the wrong thing. You cut her off. Now, I haven't gotten to you yet, but we will. Because I have a feeling that both of you ladies acted very badly that day. So after you cut her off, what happened?
I proceeded down southbound 99. I took the Florin Road exit and headed eastbound. There's 2 lanes on eastbound Florin. I was in the left lane, and I noticed a couple of minutes after I exited Florin Road, I noticed in my rearview mirror Miss Rashawn in the right lane, and she comes up. She's next to my car yelling at me and calling me a few names.
She's yelling at you. What is she calling you? She's calling you bad names?
She's calling me bad names.
And what did you say to her?
I didn't say anything. I was like, you know, I was trying to get to my doctor's appointment. That's all I was trying to do. And she started calling me the B word and yelling at me for cutting her off, et cetera, et cetera. And next thing I knew, her car is over in my lane, hits my car. I'm looking, and in my lane is a tan SUV, and my first thought was, this lady is going to make me hit this SUV in front of me. So I slammed on my brakes. She had so much force on my car that she ended up over in the left lane, and I took a right onto Palmer House, right here. And I came down here. Because I wasn't sure, like I said, she was extremely upset, so I was scared to stop or anything. I got on the phone, was trying to get through to 911. She kept following me, and then I lost her, and I came back, and she was parked. So I was trying to take a picture of her license plate. So when I got through to 911, I would have the license plate number. As I was focusing in on the license plate, I had my windows down. She gets out of her car, comes up to my vehicle, to the passenger side, starts screaming and yelling at me on how I hit her car, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, no, I didn't. Next thing I knew, she reaches in through the passenger side window, grabs my purse out of my car, and I was in shock. I was like, wait a minute, that's stealing, that's my purse. So I get out of my car, I go around the back of my car, and she dumps my purse and throws everything on the ground. And I go to pick it up, and she rushes me, scratches me and everything. She is just going at me. And I was in shock, and I believe, excuse my language, but I think I said, what the F, that's assault? And she goes, no, your boyfriend beats you up. I'm like, oh, is that the way we play the game? And then she continues with these 2 gentlemen came out, pulled her off of me. I asked them if they would stick around and talk to the police. They said no. I went to pick up my belongings off of the ground, and when I went to stand back up, she pushes me. I didn't have a chance to brace myself or anything. I fell back, and my head hit the street, twisted my ankle, bruise on my right arm, everything's on the right side. Again, I get back up and start trying to retrieve my stuff again, and that's when the officer pulled up.
Okay, your version.
That was totally a lie.
Your version.
My version is, we were southbound on 99 on our way to pick up my son. We were in the carpool lane. She's tailgating me. My daughter noticed that.
Don't tell me what anybody else knows.
Okay,
what happened from your perspective?
Okay, she went around on the shoulder to get around me. I wasn't in the number 2 lane. I was in the number 1 lane. She went around on the shoulder, started driving wildly. She was weaving in and out of traffic, got back in the carpool lane. I exited off the freeway. My daughter noticed when we were over the overpass. She said, the same car is getting off the freeway. Is that hers? I said, I don't know. So we were driving east on Florin, and then all of a sudden, I saw a car driving up fast behind me. So I moved over to the right lane, and lo and behold, bam, she crashes right into me.
Where was the damage to your car?
Got pictures right here.
See it.
And you can
You have
tell.
pictures of the damage to your car?
Yes.
And she hit me. Shh.
Why don't I have any pictures of the front of either of these cars?
Because I didn't hit her. She hit me. She's claiming...
I said, why don't I have any pictures of the front of either of these cars?
Because there was no damage in the front of my car.
But if I had a picture of that, it would have been helpful.
Okay.
Because she sideswiped me. She didn't.
I did not sideswipe you.
No. This car looks to me as if this car, this is where the impact was in the
That's
front.
her tire marks.
That's where she
Her
crashed
tire
into
was-
me.
Well-
And then you can see on my picture
Her-
where
the
she
dam-
stayed on my...
The damage to her car is mostly on the side.
Right.
Damage to your car, mostly over here. Okay, so she hits your car, and?
She tried to veer me to the right into a ditch. Why I had a picture of the ditch there. And then I managed to get ahead of her, so I passed the light, but she went to the right on Palmer House and tried to run from me. So I was like, she's not going to run from me. So I ended up backing up in the street and following her down the street. And she made a U-turn in someone's driveway. I came around behind her. She backed up and just crashed right into the back of my car. You could see the dent by the gas tank there. And then she managed to drive back down the street, went into a church parking lot. She did a donut in there, and I got a picture of the marks on the ground there, if you look at the picture. And she was heading straight for me like she wanted to play chicken. So I was like, this lady has no regard for me and my daughter. And first of all, why would I even hit her with my daughter in the car?
You have a police report?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to take a look at the police reports, please.
And I'm a commercial truck driver, so why would I want to ruin my driving record? That's my livelihood. I am a Class A truck driver, so I have no reason to be crashing into anybody.
You told the police that after you took the pocketbook out of her car, which you acknowledged that you did, which was the wrong thing to do, you understand, that she slapped you.
Yes.
Where did she slap you?
Right here on the right side of my cheek.
And that's when you hit her?
Yes.
You have photographs of your injuries?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see them, please. You hurt her pretty badly, madam. You hurt her pretty badly. That's
Well,
unreasonable.
She hit me.
I'm not sure about that. No, you say she slapped you. I believe that, but you assaulted her.
She hit me first.
No, I don't believe that. Not only don't I believe it, but even if she slapped you in the face after you took her purse, she's allowed to do that.
Well, I didn't steal her purse.
Yes, you did.
I grabbed it, yes.
Yes, you did. You stole her purse. The purpose of your removing it was not to steal its contents, was to make sure that you had identifying information about her because she was leaving. You could have had the same identifying information by just taking down her license plate number. You chose not to do that. You committed a felony. You reached into her car and took her purse. You lost your temper. That's a felony.
Well, anybody would under the circumstances.
No, my dear.
Well, not stealing the purse,
I
but
wouldn't
I
have
was
done it.
hot.
I would have stayed in my car until a police officer came. I would have locked my doors, rolled up my
Well,
windows,
I called
and said,
911.
You may have called 911, but you stay in your car, especially when you have your daughter with you. You don't know what kind of nut this is. All you did was say to me, this person was driving erratically. That's what you said to me. She cut me off. She rammed my car. And instead of sitting in your car and protecting your daughter, you got out of the car and stole a pocketbook.
Actually, I got out of the car to estimate my damages, and she drove up alongside of me, started yelling at me.
So what? So, further proof.
But I was away from her. I wasn't-
You weren't away from her. You walked up to her car and reached into her bag. You can't do that. You understand that? Yeah, good. I'm glad you understand it. And you should be more responsible if you have your child with you. Now, go ahead.
I also asked her if she was on medication, and she said she was.
It's very possible. And if she told you she was on medication, I mean, I know that you didn't ask it in a calm way, because if somebody rams your car, as she rammed your car, you're not calm. So you probably said, what are you on?
No, I asked her, are you on any medication?
And she said?
Yes, I am.
Was that before or after you assaulted her?
That was before.
You got me? In any event, you have medical bills?
I actually don't have medical bills except for like my prescriptions to like $60 for prescriptions.
Okay.
I also have a report from, because there's more injuries than the pictures, because when I fell, my head hit the
I'd
ground.
like to see it.
So there's
I didn't cause her to hit her head. She did
So
that on her own.
medical report.
And my daughter can witness to that.
I'm not going to call your daughter as a witness.
Okay.
I think you put her through quite enough.
Marlene Lacey is accusing fellow motorist Sarah Rashan of ramming her car during an incident of road rage.
What?
It says in the police report that there's no visual marks on her face. She
No, I read that there were no visual marks. She was not injured. No, I understand that.
Okay.
I do believe, however, that you damaged her car.
Okay.
I think that she lost it, and I think that you behaved very badly that day, Miss Lacey.
Okay.
Very badly. I think that you were in a rush to get to a doctor's appointment, and you were driving erratically on the road in order to do that. You placed a lot of people's lives in jeopardy, because that's what... You practically acknowledged that in your statement, but she's not allowed to lose her temper and assault you. Now, you were banged up.
Yes.
You were banged up. I'm awarding you $3,500 in fees for your pain and suffering,
Okay.
medical bills, whatever they were.
Okay.
I'm awarding her $3,500 on her counterclaim to fix her car for the damage that you caused.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
That means each of you gets nothing. That's all.
Yes, ma'am.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Carpenter Jeffrey Castleberry is suing his former boss, Megan Watson, for non-payment of services rendered. Megan says Jeffrey's work was substandard.
Mr. Castleberry, you worked for the defendant in her construction business. You quit over some social problem that you had. It seems that you were dating her sister. According to you, got into some sort of a kerfuffle with her sister and decided it would be best if you didn't work with her anymore.
Yes, ma'am.
So you quit. And you claim at the time that you quit, you were owed wages. Miss Watson seems to acknowledge that you were owed wages, but she said that you took some tools that belonged to her and didn't return them, but primarily that she went and examined the work that you had done and found it to be substandard, and she had to arrange to have that work done by somebody else, so she doesn't owe you any money. And she's counterclaiming for the tools and having to have the work redone. It's a little nonsense. Not the tools necessarily, the work redone is nonsense. When did he start to work for you?
About the middle of March of 2007.
And what was the financial arrangement that you had with him?
He got paid on the jobs once I got paid on the jobs. It was
Is
a
that how-
percentage of each job.
Is that how you were paid, sir, a percentage of each job?
I don't know if it's a percentage. It was a set rate for each job. When she was paid for it, she would write me a check, and she would attach one of these pay statements, which has the check number, the date, how much I was paid, which job it was, and what I did. And each time she gave, she would give, this was the first one, and second, etc.
Okay, can I have it, please? And when did you quit, sir? On what date?
April 2nd.
So you only worked there a couple of weeks. Were you paid this last one, this
Yes.
pay statement, April 3rd?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were paid on this?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were paid on this?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's for all the time that you worked there?
That was for the other jobs, yes.
For the other jobs. Had you ever had a discussion with her about any work that you did while you were working for her that was unsatisfactory?
No, ma'am.
So any work that you did pursuant to that list that you had and work that you completed, you got one of these and you were paid for it?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Now, give me the figures on the work that you did that you were not paid for.
$355.
Okay. But he did do this $355 worth of work.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you owe him $355.
Yes, ma'am. There's another job that he did an estimate on for me, and per his estimate, the door was wrong. I had to pay someone else to correct the work that from where he estimated the door being wrong.
You mean he measured it wrong?
Yes, ma'am. It was too small.
Show him.
Mr. Moore's door that you measured, and you said it was a 6-0 door.
Mm-hmm.
The rough opening on that door was...
The door that we both measured.
You measured that door.
We both
Just
measured.
a second. You said that you measured it and she measured it?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about that.
As we measured the door,
Who's we?
her and I,
You were there together?
yes, ma'am.
Were you there together?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, then you have a problem. You're the construction boss.
Yes, ma'am.
So?
I did measure the door. I wrote the information down that he gave me and consulted
Were
with
you
the customer.
there?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, then you should have checked him a little bit better. You owe him $355. Now, are you angry with him for some reason?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
Because he stole some of my tools, and I have
Okay.
the receipts for those.
Tell me what tools he stole.
I have a reciprocating saw that I purchased right here.
Do you
that
have
I
that?
no longer have.
No, ma'am.
Where is it?
I never had any of her tools. As a matter of fact, some of my tools were left at her parents' house, and after I quit, I asked if she could meet me up the street to get my tools. She let me get the tools out of the back of her truck, which was my saw, and I had a bucket with my tools in it, and she was present when I did that.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am, but I believe my tools were in his bucket because we worked out of the same truck.
Well, what do you mean you believe?
Because I no longer have my tools as of the day
Well,
I
is
gave
that what
him
makes
back
you think
his.
he has them?
Yes, ma'am.
It's not proof, madam, of anything. Who is this?
This is my sister.
This is the one that you were dating?
Yes, ma'am.
Didn't work out?
No, ma'am.
Okay. You owe him $355. It didn't work out. You have to pay for the work. You know, it's not always a good idea to go to work for relatives.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, it tends to be messy. But, Miss Watson, what I have before me are statements of when he worked for you, what you paid him, and it appears that until there was this brouhaha with your sister, his work was fine. His work became unsatisfactory is when there was a problem. So I find that a little suspect. You have to pay him the $355 that you owe him. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Victoria Nunez says former friend Philip Mitchell owes for breaking an apartment lease. Philip says he's being made to look like the bad guy.
Please.
Miss Nunez, Mr. Mitchell is your boyfriend's brother. I don't know if he's still your boyfriend.
No.
Okay, but you and the boyfriend had an apartment. You decided to relocate. Mr. Mitchell was looking for a place to live. He didn't have very good credit. He has a wife?
Girlfriend.
Girlfriend. And children?
One son.
With the girlfriend? Not married. Any particular reason why, sir?
Just hasn't happened yet.
Didn't think about it?
We've thought about it, but
Not ready to make that sort of a commitment.
not really that. Just haven't done it yet.
Anyway, they needed a place to live. And you thought it might be a nice idea if you let them move into your apartment. They moved into your apartment. Your name, however, remained on the lease. It is your claim that after they moved out, because of things that they did, you were required to pay the landlord a certain amount of money. Mr. Mitchell says that it's your fault, all of these things, so you pay. When did you move into the apartment?
I initially signed the lease in November of 2005.
And when did you move out of the apartment?
In April of 2006.
Was it a one-year lease?
It was a one-year lease, yes.
So he had until October of '06. Is that right?
Well, November. Technically, the lease ended November 30th of 2006.
When did you move into the apartment, Mr. Mitchell?
In April of 2006.
And what was the rent?
Was $800 a month plus utilities.
And you were diligent in paying your rent each and every month?
Yep.
When did you move out?
We moved out the end of November.
Did you pay November's rent?
Yes.
What rent does he owe?
Well, because they didn't give us 60 days notice to the apartment complex, then they were required to pay an additional month's worth of rent.
Was that in the lease?
Yes, it was stated in the lease.
Did you give him the lease?
I did give him the lease, and I have a copy here showing that he initialed when he signed on to the lease, showing that he did see that in fact...
I'd like to see it.
Okay. And I have a copy of his application to be signed onto the lease, and his initials next to where it says 60 days must be given to move out of the apartment.
Okay. So it is clear that you both understood that you had to give 60 days notice.
Yes.
And your name remained on the lease.
Yes.
And it is Mr. Mitchell's position is that he gave the landlord 60 days written notice. So now, Mr. Mitchell, will you show me your written 60-day notice to the landlord?
Yeah, I gave 30 days notice, and I was going to work with them to pay off the last month's rent, but I do have a copy of that.
Well, so you didn't give 60-day notice.
No, not 60. I gave a 30-day notice.
But you had to give him 60 days notice.
And I had talked to them about that I didn't have 60 days, and they said that they would work with me on paying off the rest of the money.
First of all, you can't modify a written contract by an oral agreement. A written contract can only be modified by a written contract, sir. So you did not give them 60 days notice, and you were living there.
No, I did not.
So you owe the month's rent.
Well,
am I missing something?
I went into the leasing office and I said that I don't have 60 days, and they said, how long do you have? And I said, I can give you 30 days.
That's hearsay, sir. That's hearsay.
Okay.
So you owe the month's rent, and how much is a month's rent?
It was $800 plus an extra $150 for being outside of the lease.
Is that what you had to pay?
Well, I have it listed as $850, which is
perfect. So you see, $850. And what about the utilities?
The utilities that they owed were $500 at the move-out. About that here.
Did you owe any utilities when you moved out, sir?
Not that they had told me. I'd been paying the utilities every single month.
Well, take a look at the utilities. How much does it say the utilities were when you moved out?
But part of this in here is the rent, too, like late rent. So it wasn't a total of the $500 for just the utilities.
Well, were you late in your rent?
No. Well, except for that last month, yes.
So the last month wouldn't account for $500, sir.
Yeah, and I don't understand how it's listed
I
here.
don't either. What is it?
There's a breakdown of everything. It's a gas reimbursement, late fees, rent, trash reimbursement, utility charges, water, sewer reimbursement, and the total for all of those combined.
Do you see that?
Yeah,
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
So is that what you owed?
Yes.
Is my question. Wouldn't that have been easier for you to say immediately?
Yeah.
What was that amount?
The amount is about $500. I just rounded up, Judge. It was $495. So
don't round it out.
Okay.
I have a machine here. It helps me. So far, we have $1,345. Now, what about the cleaning fees for the apartment?
The cleaning fees are listed here as well. There's different damages, cleaning, trash out, rent through the 60 days.
You already told me about trash. How much trash was there?
Apparently there was a lot because they're getting charged again for it.
Just a second. Mr. Mitchell, did you and your girlfriend do a walkthrough with the landlord when you left?
Not with the landlord, no.
With whom?
We didn't do it with anyone. We cleaned the apartment out. There was some trash, but it's listed here. It's only $5 worth of taking trash out. And so there were a few bags
Why
of
didn't
trash.
you walk through the apartment with either the manager or the landlord?
They didn't tell me that I had to do that.
Did you take photographs when you left?
Mm-mm.
Well, why should she have to deal with any of this stuff?
They also had to replace the carpets, and the carpets were damaged when we moved in. And I asked Vicki if the deposit that she left would cover the carpets, and she said yes. And she had like 8-month-old Great Dane puppy living in the apartments that completely trashed the carpets.
Is that right?
I take responsibility for the carpets. However, Judge, the carpet cleaning fee was only $50.
You said that they had to replace all the carpets.
I have the invoice of them having to replace the carpets.
You mean they had cleaned it before they replaced it? They're very neat people. What date did you move out?
November 30th.
This was in January of 2007.
That's when they replaced the carpets. That was the invoice from the carpet company that they gave the apartments.
No. Where did you get this from?
The apartments. I went into the leasing office and talked to her about what I needed, and she said that this showed that they had completely replaced the carpets.
But you weren't charged for that.
No.
No. So
I don't have a copy of any of that.
No, she doesn't have a copy of that. Yes, you can take this and you can give it back to this lady. I don't know what she was hoping to get from that. So far, you owe $1,345. What were the rest of the fees?
They didn't return the key cards, and there's other damages here to different things in the apartment complex.
Did you return the key cards?
No, I do take responsibility for that.
Listen, Mr. Mitchell, sounds to me like you have to grow up a little bit. Mr. Mitchell, you didn't do all the things you were supposed to do. You didn't give 60 days notice. You didn't finish cleaning up the apartment.
I did clean the apartment.
No, you said to me you left some trash there. And there was some things. Did you have a young child in the apartment?
Yes.
So there was some damage in the apartment that I'm sure is ascribed to you and not her 8-month-old Great Bear statement?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So there are a lot of things that you didn't do. She shouldn't have to be responsible for that. And she lost a $150 deposit. She's not even asking you for that, which she should have gotten back. Can I see that paperwork, please? Anything else you want to tell me, Mr. Mitchell?
Just that when I had spoken...
Before I pronounce sentence upon you.
I had spoken to the leasing office about the notice, and they had said, since it's not 60 days, we can...
Listen to me. That's hearsay.
I have a copy of when I said I was going to move out, signed by the apartments.
Does it say signed and approved, no penalty?
No.
Fine. Okay. Now, I want to see your check.
Okay. The check is from my older sister's account, and it's right here, and there's a payment of receipt.
I'd like
and
to
also
see it,
the
please.
statement from the account being paid.
When did they contact you?
They contacted me on April 10th, so 4 months after they had moved out and I thought everything was taken care of, I found out that I had 2 days to come up with approximately $2,000. And if I didn't pay it, they threatened that they were going to take us to court, there were going to be more fees added, and I didn't want to ruin my credit because I have really good credit. I've always paid everything on time.
Gotcha. Okay. Where did you move to, Mr. Mitchell?
My aunt had a house that she rented to us.
So why couldn't you give them 60 days notice?
Because we needed to move into that house to get it. Because we needed a bigger house. We needed something with more rooms.
I understand what you're saying, Mr. Mitchell. You said I couldn't give them 60 days notice, which means that you were going to the military, somebody was having surgery, but you go into your aunt's house, so you move in a month later to your aunt's house.
We couldn't afford the last month's rent as well. And that's what I had told
You're
the lease
fast
officer.
talking, babe. You're a fast talker. Fast talker. Fortunately for me, I'm a faster thinker. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,865.01. That's all. Out. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Naomi Ravello claims ex-boyfriend Floyd Turner borrowed money and repaid her with bad checks. Floyd is countersuing, claiming Naomi dislocated his knee.
Ms. Ravello, you and Mr. Turner had a relationship. You claimed two things. First, you claimed that he borrowed some money from you. He repaid the money with some checks. And the first time you went to cash the checks, the first check bounced. So he still owes you that money. He never went back to cash the rest of the checks. And in addition to the bad checks, it is your claim that Mr. Ravello assaulted you. You have certain medical bills that you want him to pay for, as well as paying for the pain and suffering that you endured as a result of this assault. Mr. Turner says that the bad checks were a bank error, having nothing to do with him, and that the assault on you was nothing compared to what you did to him, that you actually assaulted him with a dangerous instrument, your car. When he was attempting to get out of your car, you sped away, causing him serious physical injury. He is counterclaiming. Is that correct,
Yes,
sir?
ma'am.
Let's deal with the loan first. So let's get rid of simple things first. So I'm going to go to you, Mr. Turner, because there are certain things that are stated fact. You seem to acknowledge in your answer that you borrowed money from Miss Ravello.
Yes, ma'am.
What did you borrow the money for?
It was different reasons, like I needed certain things like the truck,
You have
my
to keep your
brakes,
voice
my-
up, Mr. Turner,
I'm
because
sorry.
I don't like to
My,
strain. When I strain, I get lines on my face. When I get lines on my face, my producer doesn't like it.
Okay. Well, yeah, different things like brakes for my car. I needed that done. I needed the down payment on the mortgage, on rent too, on the apartment we had together. That's little things like that.
How much did you owe her?
Probably $400, $500, something like that.
Was it 4 or 5?
550.
550. And you gave her checks.
Yes, ma'am, I did. When she went to cash the checks, what had happened with that was I went to go to the bank, get the money. When she took me back, we was arguing in the car.
Do you still owe her the $550,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Mr. Turner?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
You know, I'm a bottom line girl. Life is short, and I have other things to do today. So on your side, you get $550 because he gave you a bunch of bad checks. So you get that money. Now tell me the date of this assault.
May 19 was the first one.
May 19th of what year?
06.
And were you together after May 19th of 06?
Yes.
How much after?
Till August 2nd.
Of what year?
06.
From May 19th of 06 to August 2nd of 06, did you live together?
Off and on, yes. We had an apartment. He lived with his mom and I lived with my dad, and we had shared an apartment.
And did you go out for dinner?
No.
Did you share a bedroom?
Yes.
I'm not interested in the assault on May 19th of 06.
That was the most important one.
Well, wouldn't have stayed after the first one. But we're talking about an incident that happened over a year ago. Why didn't you sue him before? Why did you stay with him? Why did you live with him? Why did you sleep with him? Why did you eat with him after he assaulted you? You don't let a man put their hands on you and then come in a year later and wake up and say, well, now I'd like some money. Were you hospitalized?
No.
The assault you cross off to, I should have been smarter. I'm old enough to have been smarter than to let somebody put their hands on me more than once. When was this assault that you're complaining about, Mr. Turner?
In August 2006.
August what?
6. When she hurt my knee, we had seen each other 3 days prior to that, okay? And 3 days after that, I get a letter from the sheriff saying that she had a restraining order on me. I'm like to myself, well, why is that?
Well, after the incident in the car in August, you did not live together anymore.
Oh, after August, I get, the sheriff came to the apartment and gave me a letter saying I had to evict the premises, which, okay.
After August, Mr. Ravello.
Yes.
When you had this incident that Mr. Turner is going to talk to me about,
Yes.
madam. Did you live together?
No.
So the relationship was over?
Ended.
Fine. Now, Mr. Turner, I'm going to see absolutely fair a jurist I am. I'm not going to entertain her old assault case after she took you back and lived with you and schmutchkied with you and everything. Not interested. But I'm going to hear your version of what happened in August, because after that, there was no more relationship.
True. Okay, now.
Okay, you gave her bad checks. She
Right.
was annoyed that you gave her bad checks. So she picked you up in her car
Right. I was
to
told
go to the bank.
Right.
That's what you say in your answer.
Right.
So now you're in the car, on the way to the bank, going to fix up this problem with the bad checks, and you have an argument.
Okay.
So far, am I telling the story almost like I was there, right?
Okay. I told
Now,
her, hey,
tell me what you said to her and what she said to you.
I told her, look, I don't want to escalate the problem anymore. Let me out the car. When we get to the next stop sign, we'll deal with this later, when we both calm down.
What
Okay.
was she saying to you?
Just going off about different things. Like, no, we're going to go now to the bank, blah, 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 this and that. I'm like, well, you know what? If we're going to go with this kind of attitude, things already heated up. It's best that we both calm down and wait until another day. When she came to a stop sign, I'm like, I'm going to get out. I open the door, let my leg out. She takes off with my leg out the door and pop my knee out of place. Okay, she ended up stopping. Wait, I gets out, end up walking into my apartment. Okay? So when I get out the car, go back in my house, I noticed that something was bothering my knee. I couldn't put like pressure on it. Okay? So then she came back to the apartment. She said, no, I'm sorry, I'll take you to the hospital. Well, I said,
Does that sound familiar to you?
Some of it.
Okay. And did you go to the hospital?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Can I see the report, please?
Yes, ma'am.
And I will have a chance to say my version of that, correct?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And some of those bills, Your Honor, started in collections because I was told not to contact her, but I was saying to myself, I don't think I should be responsible for those bills.
What was the date of this, sir?
August
2nd.
2nd, yeah, something like in there. So
You might
if we
see
had,
bills on there for other things because he has gone to the emergency room for
Well,
other
I
things,
see,
many
I
other
see,
things.
I see that
for
they x-rayed
at-risk.
his knee on August 4th, 2 days later. 2 days
I
later.
didn't
and I
take
see
him
that
to the
the
hospital.
emergency
she didn't take
room...
me to the hospital. I went myself. No, she didn't take me to the emergency room.
I thought you said she came back to take you to the emergency
She
room.
didn't take me. No.
Just a second. So she came back to take you to the
And I
emergency
did not go with her. Right. I did not.
Oh,
right.
well,
I
you
didn't
didn't
want.
go with her.
Right. I didn't want nothing. Why would I go with you to the hospital and you just drove and take my leg? Excuse me. Took my leg out.
Okay.
And one more question.
So you waited. When did you go to seek a protective order? On what date?
I got a restraining order on August 2nd.
Let me see what you wrote when you petitioned the court for a protective order. You told him that he assaulted you in July. You were telling me something that happened in May.
May 19th was the assault, and August 2nd was the second assault.
You don't say anything to the court about August. Shh.
Sorry.
You say that on July 28th at 5:18, he grabbed my arms, leaving bruises. Fear made that he may pull a gun on me. While I was driving, he unlocked the door, opened it, and exited. Miss Ravello.
Yes.
When we started this hearing, you said to me the bad assault was May 19th, 2006.
Yes.
Okay? Then you go to the police and you tell the police that something happened to you on July 28th, 2006, that he grabbed you and left bruises. But you just happened to go there on August 2nd, the day he got injured in the car. That sounds a lot to me like you're covering your tracks, madam.
Okay. Whew. All right.
You tell me you.
I'm a little...
You tell me you. There's a paper trail.
Oh.
The paper trail is clear. And what you told me was clear.
Well, on August 2nd, we started going to the bank because of a bounce check. And he didn't want to go to the bank, and I wanted to go to the bank. So he was in the car, and he unlocked the door and exited while my car was going. So he exited out of the car, and then I stopped. Then I went back to the house. We argued. He grabbed my arms again. That was the second domestic violence incident.
You say absolutely nothing about that here in your application. You say that when he grabbed you, that was on July 28th.
It's not true, Your Honor.
I don't want you to speak.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, I might have some date. It was like all around that time. I'm
No.
sorry.
What happened was
at that
you got frightened that you hurt him. You got frightened when he opened the door. He put one foot out the door and you took off. You were so furious you took off.
No, I was driving at the time, and he
Listen
unlocked.
to me. Listen to me, Miss Ravello. Mr. Turner isn't an idiot. Looks like a smart enough guy that would not get out of a moving car.
But he did.
No, I don't believe that. What I believe happened was you were furious. And he said, stop the car, let me out of the car. You may have slowed down. And then he put his foot out of the door and you took off and you were furious. But then you got worried.
I
then
was
you got
worried.
worried that you hurt him.
I did. I
And
was
then you
worried.
went back, and he said to you, get out of here. I don't want your help. And you said, I better get me to the police station and file for a protective order. And you tell them in the protective order something that happened days before that caused you to come to court and seek a protective order. And when you come to court here, you tell me that he assaulted you and he hurt you May 19th, 3 months before.
He did.
Okay.
I had serious
Fine.
bruises all over my body from that incident.
In May?
Yes, May 19th was horrible. It was a horrible night.
Then you should not have stayed with him, madam. You should not have
I know.
stayed with him, slept with him, eaten with him.
Well, there's the
partied
I'm
with him.
sorry thing. There's
Well,
the I
I'm sorry
love you.
too.
I'm sorry.
too. You get your $550 back, but I'm going to take a look at his medical bills because I believe that you caused the injury to him that happened on May 2nd.
But he exited while I was driving.
Mr. Vello, I don't believe you. It's as simple as that, my dear.
Ariana, can I say something else, please?
If you want to.
When I went back to the apartment, all of my stuff was in the alley. My clothes, everything. I get a phone call from one of her neighbors saying that, Turner, you better get back to the apartment. Hey, man, your stuff is in the alleys for the pickings. Everything I owned in the apartment was in the alley. I didn't get a chance to get nothing.
Why'd you throw his stuff away for?
Because we were being evicted because the landlord in front, he filed an indecency report because he parties a lot.
Just a second. When were you evicted from the apartment?
I'm sorry.
When were you evicted from the apartment? On what date?
I'm so nervous. I don't have that. I know it. The police evicted us on August 7th. I have it here. I'm going to get it together here because I was wrong here.
Just a second.
August 7th.
Go back and find your stuff in the alley.
That same day. And I called the police department because they told me if I came back over there, they're going to arrest me. So I called back and told them.
You had no reason to put his stuff in the alley.
There was a restraining order. He wouldn't leave. He wouldn't leave the apartment. There was things involved that I don't want to say right now.
I don't. Just a second. Listen to me. I'm asking you why you threw his things in the alley.
Because he wouldn't leave.
Listen to me. The fact that you put him out after he lived with you, you're entitled to do that. Things don't work out.
Right.
He's got to leave. Thank you for agreeing with me. Keep your mouth shut.
Okay.
You have no right to take his belongings and throw them away. You have the responsibility to put them in a box.
I did.
No.
I brought bags and I brought boxes and I packed them up and I put them behind the house. And my family helped me do that.
No way. No way. No way, madam. No way. You got a bad temper.
I
got a bad temper. He may too, but you got a bad temper. You owe him $1,566 for his medical bills. You owe him another $500 for the property that you threw away. From the money that you owe him, which is $2,066, I am deducting the $550 loan, which means on his counterclaim, you owe him $1,516. Judgment on the counterclaim for the defendant. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Stacy Levine says ex-boyfriend Rory Rodriguez owes for a cell phone bill and the cost of a plane ticket. Rory claims Stacy knew he wouldn't be able to pay her back.
Miss Levine, this used to be your boyfriend, and according to your complaint, he owes you for a plane ticket and for a cell phone bill.
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez says the cell phone was your idea in order to keep in touch with him, and he never used the plane ticket.
Yes.
How long did this romance go on? For how many months?
About 8 months.
And when did you get involved with his cell phone business?
In July of '06.
How long had you known him?
7 months.
So you got involved in his cell phone business a month before you broke up?
Correct.
Tell me how that came about.
He had been complaining he had wanted a new phone, and he was on his father's plan. His father would not allow him to get a new phone, and we had discussed getting him a new phone with a different carrier so that we could talk with free minutes. Also, we had a verbal agreement that if I bought him a new phone, he would pay me back as soon as he got his check that month in July.
Where were you working?
I was a nanny. I was working as a nanny.
And what was he doing?
Nothing.
Well, when was he supposed to pay you for the cell phone?
Well, he said he was getting another check in July from the school district.
What kind of work does he do for the school district?
He was a campus supervisor.
When was the bill that you claim he owes you? Was it a bill or was it the actual cell phone that
There's
he owes you?
I paid for the cell phone in July, and then there was also a bill that has accrued since we started the phone.
How much was the phone itself?
$229.30.
And how much was the bill?
The bill now is $724.38.
For how many months?
That was the last statement I got was in March of
this last year.
Why didn't you just cut off the phone?
I did end up shutting off the phone. That was after he racked up all of the charges. He had promised to pay the bill every month. I had set up the bill to go to his address. His name was on it as well. My name was just used for credit purposes. So he got the statement every single month in the mail to his address, and he told me he was paying it.
You mean after you broke up?
Yes. Well, when I set up the phone in July, he
said he would pay it, but this $724 isn't for 1 month
No.
or 2 months. And according to you, you broke up in August.
We did break up in August, and I paid the first bill in September. And then
You did? Why?
Because he had called me. I was out of town. He called me and told me he needed the bill paid, and I didn't want it to go into collections at that time, so I did pay it over the phone.
And what about the next month's bill?
He told me he paid it. I was on the phone with Verizon. He said I sent a check.
Let's talk about the cell phone. Get the plane ticket in a second. Talk.
She knew that I was out of work. Working for the school district, it's a 10.5-month job.
Well, then that's what you do for a living. You work for a school district that's a 10.5-month job.
Right. And she was well aware.
Don't tell me what she was aware of, sir. I want to hear your explanation of needing a new telephone.
I did not need a new telephone. I was perfectly fine with the one that I had underneath my father's plan.
Okay.
The only reason that she wanted me to have the cell phone was so that we could talk for free and we could text message for free.
Okay, so as one of your famous, fabulous 5 friends? Or whatever
Something
that is?
along those lines, yeah.
I don't do that. I don't have 5 people that I want to speak to that often. Let's discount the phone for a second, Mr. Rodriguez. What about your cell phone bill? Why didn't you pay that?
She
what?
I had no money. I was out of work. I wasn't out of work, but I wasn't working.
Well, get a job, sir.
I had a job.
Then don't talk on a cell phone.
We broke up in August, and after August, the phone was never used.
Oh, show me. Can I see a bill if that's true? If it's after August, is that what you're telling me?
The phone, once we broke up, the phone was...
That's the bill.
No, all I want to know is, you're saying to me, once you broke up in August, the phone was never used.
Correct.
He did not rack up $500 in a month.
Oh, no. I need the bills from September, October, November. This doesn't tell me anything, madam.
It says what the charges are.
For what month?
For all of them. The phone wasn't shut off until December.
I understand that the phone wasn't shut off until December, but there's a factual dispute. If he says that he did not use the phone after you broke up, then some credence to his story that you decided to get this phone so that the two of you could either chat or text message each other for nothing. One phone bill doesn't do it for me. Do you understand?
I understand that, yes.
Do you have the others with you?
I do not have any other phone bills with me.
Here, give this back to her for now.
That was the only way I was able to get a hold of him, was his cell phone. So I did talk to him on the cell phone.
That's not my
then.
statement to you, madam. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Fine. So, since you didn't bring that with you, I'm going to dismiss the cell phone portion of your claim without prejudice. You can certainly sue him for that amount of money when you have the appropriate documents to back up your story. You don't have them today. Now let's get to the plane ticket. When was the plane ticket purchased?
July of '06.
July what?
I believe it was the 14th.
And when did you officially break up with him?
The last week of August.
When was this trip supposed to take place?
We were supposed to leave September 1st, and we broke up the very week before.
9/1. And where were you going?
We were going to Pennsylvania and Cleveland.
For what?
Pennsylvania to visit family, Cleveland to the Cleveland Clinic, and then to the Canton to the Football Hall of Fame.
When did you purchase the ticket?
July 14th of '06.
Is that correct?
I'm not sure what the date was.
Well, I'm sure she has documents showing when she purchased the ticket and when you were supposed to leave.
I've never had, in my possession, I've never had the ticket, so I
It
don't
doesn't
know
make any
when she
difference,
bought
sir.
it.
Because what I found interesting was you said that the reason you were going to Pennsylvania is to attend her grandfather's funeral. That's what you say. And I said to myself, well, how do you plan for something like that 2-3 weeks in advance? You know?
No.
I don't know whether her grandfather is alive or not, but you don't...
Her grandfather did pass away.
Yes.
On the trip that we were supposed to go to, her grandfather did pass away.
But he did not pass away.
Shh. I have no idea what you just said to me.
Her grandfather passed away on the trip that we were supposed to go to.
But you hadn't planned on going there for his funeral unless he had some sort of premonition that he was going, sir.
We did, though, ma'am. It was something that was known for a while that
he was going to die while you were there?
Not while we were there, but
you know,
that he was
sound
close.
ridiculous. You know, you sound ridiculous. You mean she wanted to go visit her grandfather because he was sick?
Right.
That's not what you said here. You said that you planned to go to Pennsylvania to attend her grandfather's funeral.
Right.
He's not too swift. Okay, tell me about the plane ticket.
We were going to go visit family in Pennsylvania and then move on to Cleveland. He was going to accompany me and my mother. My mother actually purchased the tickets and spoke with Rory on the phone. And
Perfect. Can you step up? Your last name is?
Randall.
Miss Randall, tell me about the conversation you had with Mr. Rodriguez about this plane ticket.
On the day that we were purchasing the tickets, I spoke with him on the phone, and he told me he would reimburse Stacy for the airfare. And at the same time, we opened up the airline's frequent flyer mileage account for him, set that up, and it was my clear understanding from him during that conversation.
I don't want to hear your clear understanding.
Sorry.
I want to hear what he said to you.
He said he would reimburse Stacy for the cost of the airline ticket.
And then what happened? Thank you.
We broke up.
Yes.
And there was no reason for me to go on a trip with him if we weren't together.
Absolutely right, sir.
And at the same time as
was the ticket refundable?
It was non-refundable. I tried transferring it into my name so that I could use it. I was not able to do that. I told him that as soon as I knew that. I said, here's the ticket. You know, you can use it for up to a year later. Did not give it to him because he had not paid for it. And he still has until July 14th of this year to use it.
Did you have that discussion with him?
Yes, I did.
Do you remember that discussion when she said it's non-transferable, but you can use it for up to a year?
Yes.
Well, then you have to pay for it.
When we had talked originally about buying this ticket, I told her, just as a cell phone, I did not have money because
I believe her mother that her mother had the discussion with you, sir.
And I
believe her mother. I do not believe you that you didn't have that discussion with her mother.
I'm not saying that I didn't have the discussion with her mother, but what I'm saying is that I was out of work.
I don't care whether you were out of work.
And I let them know that I couldn't pay them immediately.
That's a different story. The word is immediately. Sir, you
And
you don't intend to be unemployed forever.
When we had broken up, so there was no reason for me to even go on a trip with them.
Of course not, sir, but the ticket is non-refundable. I want you to try to expand your brain a little bit, Mr. Rodriguez. The fact that you broke up and you had non-refundable ticket, let's say instead of going to Pennsylvania, you were going with her to Cancun, Mexico, and you purchased 2 non-refundable tickets. She put it on her credit card. You broke up. There's no question. You said, listen, we're not going on this trip. She's not going to go alone. I'm not going to go alone. But the airline says to you, and they say to you, listen, if you can't back, but you can reschedule within the next 6 months. She put it on her credit card. Do you think you're responsible to pay her for those tickets?
No.
You're wrong. You are. You have an opportunity to use the tickets, but you can't say, I'm not going to touch those tickets. You promised the mother that you were going to pay her back for the tickets. You had an opportunity to use them for a year. You should have used them. And I suggest you get your behind into gear because you still have a couple of days to use them. Figure out where you want to go. If you want to go to the Hall of Fame, that's a great place to go for a weekend. How much were the tickets?
$331.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $331. With regard to the cell phone bill, you bring the right proof. Either I'll entertain your application or another court of competent jurisdiction will do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Have a happy life.
Eve Dettenheim is suing her sister, Carol Dettenheim, for damaging her car when she ran into a deer. Carol says she offered her sister a portion of the deer meat as payment.
Ms. Dettenheim, this is your sister.
Yes, ma'am.
According to your complaint, she took your car, your neighbors?
Yes.
She took your car, you say without permission, had an accident, you want her to pay for the damage to your car.
Yes.
Your sister says she really had your permission because she used to borrow the car all the time. You left the back door open, she grabbed the keys, she needed some diapers or something, she wanted to go to the store. There was an accident, it was unavoidable, she hit a deer, damaged the car, and her defense is you should have had better insurance. Is that your defense?
I thought she had full coverage.
What made you think that?
I just didn't think.
You didn't think? Who do you rely on to do your thinking?
I just used it all the time, and she wasn't home, so I went over there to get the key and went, and the deer just jumped out in front of me.
Was the deer hurt?
Oh, it died.
Did you wait for somebody to come and take the carcass away?
No, I put pine straw over it and took the antler. and went and got it later.
Went and got what later?
The deer.
What'd you do with it?
Ate it.
Is that true?
Yes, ma'am, and she even offered me some, but I'm not having rigor mortis stew. I know.
It did not have rigor mortis, so I went back.
That is just sick.
Can I see pictures of your car, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you live, Miss Tettenheim?
Louisiana.
Where in Louisiana?
Hainesville.
How long have you and your sister been neighbors?
For 1 year.
Who moved close to whom?
She moved close to me.
You have an estimate to fix this car?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see it, please. Are you angry with your sister?
A little bit. I feel like she needs to own up to the responsibility that she did damage my car and make what is wrong right.
So, what do you think?
Well, that night when I told her about the wreck, I thought it was just a headlight. And, you know, we talked about it and looked at everything. But then the next morning, she come over there just hollering at me, banging on my door, telling me how I owed her and all this. And I've helped her with a lot of stuff in the past and has made my life. I had to move because, I mean, I still have the house, but I can't stay with her. She'll do stuff like rev up her engine in the morning, trying to wake up my son and stuff, trying to make my life hard, and it's become an issue. It's like the Hatfield McCoys or something. So.
Do you work?
No, ma'am.
How do you support yourself?
My boyfriend.
Does he live with you?
Well, I'm staying with him now, just because she's hard to be next to.
Well, when's the last time you were employed?
I'm a student right now. It's been almost a year. I've been a stay-at-home mom.
A student of what?
I'm going to be a bail bondsman.
And how often do you go to school for that?
Right now, it's just a little course right now.
So why don't you work?
Because...
Well, you have to because you owe your sister $1,300.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to have to owe $1,300.
Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $1,300. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Go back to Louisiana and be happy.
Allison Abushan claims her ex-boyfriend, Christopher Wilson, owes for the down payment on a truck. Allison also claims Christopher overdrew their shared bank account.
Thank you, Bert. Miss Abushan, how long were you and the defendant together as a couple?
About 5.5 months.
Did he move in with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you meet him?
I met him when I was finishing college in Kentucky. He then moved back with me to Minnesota.
Mr. Wilson, when you moved back with Miss Abushan to Minnesota, what were you doing for a living, sir?
I got down there and I started work for DirecTV.
In what month did you move to Minnesota?
It was 2 days before Christmas.
So let's say January. And when did you get the job with DirecTV?
It was about a month after Christmas.
February?
Yes.
How long did you have the job?
Until I come back to Kentucky.
And when was that?
In the middle of March.
Well, then you weren't working very long, sir.
Right.
Who was supporting you?
My parents would send me money, help me out.
I'm talking about her. Was she supporting you?
It'd go either way. I had money too.
Where did you have money from?
My parents, like I say, they would send me money.
How old are you, Mr. Wilson?
I'm 23. I'll be 24.
If I let you.
I hope you'll let me.
All of these things, my questions have a reason, Mr. Wilson.
Okay.
This is your complaint. You foolishly, very foolishly, put a down payment on a truck or
Yes,
something
Your Honor.
for him. And there was an agreement that he was going to pay you back for it because he didn't have any what?
Transportation or money.
Because he didn't have any money.
Right.
Otherwise, he would have put the down payment on his own truck. So evidently his parents, because he acknowledges that you put the down payment on the truck for him, right? I read your papers.
Correct.
And if you had money of your own, then you wouldn't have needed money from? You're smarter than you look, sir. Now, 2 weeks after you bought him this truck, he goes back to Kentucky to deal with some legal issues, according to him, having to do with his child.
That ended up being
I'm
false.
speaking.
Excuse me.
And his child said, "Oh, Daddy, don't leave." So he decided to leave and dump you and go back to the mother of his child and his child because he couldn't say no to his baby. And he kept your truck. That's after 2 weeks.
Yes,
and how
ma'am.
much did you lay out?
$3,500.
You know, your looks are deceiving, sir. What?
$3,500, Your Honor.
No. There were also payments due on this truck.
Yes, Your Honor.
He moved back in the middle of March to Kentucky. Did he make the March payment on the truck?
No, ma'am, he did not.
I see, shh, just a second. I see a whole lot of blank space on your table, Mr. Wilson. You say in your answer that you made the truck payments. You left, according to you, the second week in March. Show me the March payment that you made.
I ain't got no evidence of nothing. She come and got the truck without my knowledge right in the middle of the day.
Listen to me. Listen to me. You have evidence, sir, because you would have proof that you made the truck payment in March.
Nothing was due. There was no payments due on that truck.
I have a check, Your Honor.
I just had purchased. We just had purchased that truck. Like I say, we just had purchased that truck.
You mean you purchased it? They made you a gift?
No, it's not a gift. It wasn't. There was no payments due on it.
When was the first payment due?
Whenever we bought the truck, like 3 weeks before, and I hadn't had a chance to pay the payment on it because she come and got it.
You didn't have a chance.
Exactly.
Your Honor, I have a check for
Can I
March.
see it, please?
Yes, ma'am. My mother wrote it out of account that we had shared together, my mother and I, to make the payment. After he was delinquent on that payment, that's when we chose to go down there for the sake of my credit.
Just a second.
Yes, Your Honor.
We do this according to the way I run this playpen, okay? Check is dated the 21st of March, so I assume for $271.75. You don't have another check that you made, do you, sir?
No.
In March? No. No. Then you went down because he didn't make the payment. And very wisely, I might add, decided not to be involved with this man anymore because now your credit is on the line because there are payments due on this car.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you and your mom, according to your papers, went down and repossessed the car.
Yes.
And sold it.
Yes.
Sold it at a loss.
Yes.
And what you want is the money that you spent on him for this truck. How much did you sell the truck for?
Sold the truck for $10,500. Had $11.86 left on the truck to be paid.
All right, so what's the deficit?
About $1,300.
Okay. That's a cheap lesson. Now, when, Miss Aubuchon, when you went down to repossess the truck, did you give him any notice that he had the opportunity to make up any of these?
Yes, Your Honor. I asked him if he would please return the truck to me. I even offered to buy him a plane ticket back to Kentucky from Minnesota if he would do that.
And what did he say to you?
He said, I'll do it, and then he would not call me back. I wouldn't be able to get a hold of him for several weeks at a time.
When did you first call him?
I called him...
Mr. Wilson, this smirk is irritating. Go ahead.
I was explaining this to him about a week after he left once I realized that he would not be returning.
When he left to go to Kentucky?
Yes.
When did he notify you that he would not be coming back?
It was about a week after he left. He told me that he wasn't going to be coming back due to his baby and missing his family. At that point, I said, I'll give you the opportunity to make the truck payment. If you do not, it will be going against my credit as well, and I will have to retrieve the truck.
And when did you have the discussion with him?
That discussion with him was had about a week after he...
Which was when?
It would have been the very end of February, first week of March. I also have credit card charges, Your Honor, which would indicate when he returned back to Kentucky.
I'd like to see them, please. Now, the second part of your claim is that he overdrew a joint checking account that you had. And quite frankly, I'm far more interested in that than this truck problem because the truck was an unfortunate exercise for you.
Right.
You got most of your money back.
Right.
The $1,300 is probably a reasonable lesson that you'll never do it again.
Well, the down payment I never got back.
The down payment you did get back, madam, when you sold it. If anything, there was one payment due. I mean, it was a wise thing for you to do. Otherwise, you would have been responsible for the whole thing. But no bank would have gone after him after a week.
But I gave him the opportunity to
No bank
pay
would have gone after him after a week. And in all probability, he would not have made these payments. There's no question he wouldn't have made these payments from a moral perspective. But from a legal perspective, if you own a car and you finance it, and if you're 4 days late with a payment, they do not come after you and repossess the car. They don't do it.
Right.
Let's hear about the money in your checking account.
Okay. We opened this joint checking account because I was supporting Mr. Wilson. I gave him a card of his own. Once he started making money, his checks were going to be directly deposited into that account so that we could pay bills together, so on and so forth. When he left, that account was emptied. I foolishly did not close it.
Just a second. When he left, the account was emptied by you.
Yes, Your Honor.
And how much was in the account?
At the time, there was about $1,500 in the account.
Okay. And at the time, Mr. Wilson had been working for about a month.
Correct.
How much money did you put into the account, Mr. Wilson?
Probably about $700.
Okay, fine. And then according to the plaintiff, Mr. Wilson, you made charges against her bank credit for $2,000. Why did you do that, sir?
I don't think I made that much.
Why did you make any?
I don't think I made about maybe $300, and I figured my money was in there.
Well, let's see how much money. How much money did he charge on the debit card?
I believe the total is about $2,300.
Not about. Figure it out, because then you're going to show it to Mr. Wilson. You need a calculator?
I may need a calculator. There's quite a bit.
Stand over next to her while she's adding this up so you save me a little bit of time, Mr. Wilson. Listen to me, Miss Aubuchon.
Thank you. Yes, Your Honor.
Show him the charge, add it on the calculator. Press on.
Okay.
I know enough about the machine to know they have to press on.
This is the ladder. This is the advance for credit card for food and gas when you left town, food and gas in Kentucky, when you ordered stuff in order to set up your new business in Kentucky, more food and gas, and the Dell computer.
And what do we have as a total?
We have $2,130, I believe.
5 cents on your computer.
This is wrong. That was the
Go,
difference.
step back over and don't be a smart mouth. Can I see it, please?
Sure.
Give me the computer. Let him stand right there next to you. Just.
So unless the decimal is in the wrong place, it should be about $1,595 that I've now added up. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, Mr. Wilson, you've gone over those charges. That should be your computer in Kentucky, your business in Kentucky, the food and gas in Kentucky. Gone over those charges?
Yes.
Is that right? $1,595?
I don't think so.
Well, how much is it, sir? Here, just a second. Let's do. You add it.
I don't need no calculator. I mean, I really don't.
No, listen to me. Then add it up in your head. Add it up in your head. What?
600.
No. Add up those figures, sir. Give the piece of paper to Smartmouth. Read over the figures that she just added, sir. Come on.
Well, at the time, you know, from Minnesota, Kentucky.
Listen, from Minnesota to Kentucky, give me the charges. Let's go.
Let me see your calculator then. This calculator ain't right.
Can I have the calculator, please? I've been using it for 11 years. Okay. Now, what I want you to do, Miss Aubuchon, this is a challenge. I want you to say the charge, tell me what it was for, and the amount.
Okay. There was a ladder charged at Menards, $220.85.
Don't give me any change.
Okay.
Just round it out to the last
Yes, Your
dollar.
Honor.
$225?
Yep. Advance from credit card, $150. Skywalker Communications, $175. Food and gas in Kentucky, $50. Advance from credit card, $1,000. I'm sorry, I missed that originally. And the Dell computer, $807.
Where's the computer, sir?
I sent it back whenever she notified me about it.
Send it back to whom?
Dale, a long time ago.
Is there a credit?
I was never credited for that, Your Honor.
You owe her $2,407. You got it? Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,407. Listen, Miss Aubuchon,
Yes,
you
Your
made
Honor.
a mistake.
Yes, Your Honor.
Don't make another mistake.
I won't, Your Honor.
Good. Thank you. That's
Thank
all.
you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Taylor Davy claims ex-roommate Camelia Hansen owes for rent and bills. Camelia is countersuing, claiming Taylor and another roommate stole her clothes.
All rise. Yeah, this is case number 76 on the calendar in the matter of Davy versus Hansen.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Folks, have a
Who are
seat.
the three roommates? Raise your paws. Very good. Ms. Davy, according to your complaint, you, this young lady, and this young lady decided to lease an apartment together. You signed the lease for how long?
Till August 10th, 6 months.
And you were going to share the rent?
Yes, we were going to split it 3 ways equally.
According to your complaint, you moved in February 2000 and?
We moved in the last week of January 2007, and...
But the rent started in February.
Well, we paid a little extra for the last week. We paid $100 extra.
All right.
Well, I did.
That's not, I never knew anything about that. Okay.
So, Your complaint alleges that Miss Hanson did not pay her rent for February and did not pay her rent in March.
Right.
And then you did what?
She called me one night asking to get into the house, and I was busy. I wasn't at home, so I didn't let her in. And I told her that I wasn't going to let her back into the house until she paid me the money that she owed me.
So you locked her out?
Well, she was locked out. I didn't try to intentionally lock her out. She didn't offer to come pick up a key to get into the house, and I knew she could...
that's something I don't quite understand. You have an apartment, there are 3 of you on the lease, and only 2 keys. Who wants to explain to me why there were only 2 keys? Yes.
There were only 2 keys because we were the only ones on the lease. Brittany wasn't on the lease.
And there's no way that you could have made a 3rd key?
We could have, but I just let Brittany use my key because she was working late one night and she needed to get in, and I was at my boyfriend's house.
Why didn't you go to a locksmith and make a 3rd key? I don't understand that. How?
I don't know. We could have done that, but didn't.
Anyway.
So we
you
didn't have
locked her
the
out.
3 keys.
You
She
locked
was
her
locked
out.
out.
You locked her out, and now you want your rent.
Yeah, she owes me
Fine.
for 2 months of
Okay.
rent.
Now, Ms. Hanson says that she told you that she could not afford February's rent, and then she was going to pay you in March, but you locked her out first. But most
Actually,
at the beginning
Your
of March,
Honor-
that didn't require an answer.
Well,
I'm speaking.
that statement was incorrect.
Well, I said what she said
Okay.
happened is this. So now you have to be quiet. You have to sort of dust out the cobwebs. Now I'm telling you what her defense is. Do you understand?
I do.
She has a counterclaim. She says that you locked her out but took her property, took her clothes. And she can prove that because some of the clothes that belong to her you are wearing on a website on the internet.
Not Taylor, Brittany was.
Brittany, one of whatever. And she wants her clothes back.
That doesn't
Now,
have anything to do with me.
that also didn't require an answer. How old are you?
I'm 19.
Was that a question or an answer?
An answer?
And what do you do for a living?
I waitress and cook at the World Cafe.
And what do you do, Miss Hanson?
I work at a coffee shop.
And you?
I'm front desk clerk at the Holiday Inn.
How old are you?
19.
19.
You moved out when in March?
The very first week of March.
Give me the date.
I think it was the 2nd.
No, it wasn't. No.
No, I think...
Now, let's not play with each other. You didn't
I-
pay March's rent on the 1st. You didn't pay March's rent on the 2nd. When did you call her and tell her you wanted to get into the house?
It was the first Thursday of March, so...
I have down that happened on the 7th of March.
Sounds right.
Okay, well then I was
Not the 1st or 2nd. So you lived there 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Why didn't you pay March's rent?
Because the rent was due on the 6th, and I told her that I couldn't give her March rent until like that weekend. Because
Why?
Because my mom was giving me money for it because I didn't have a job at the time. And my mom
Why
got
did
paid
you
that
move into an
weekend.
apartment if you didn't have a job?
Because they needed me to be on the lease to get the apartment.
Well, they
because
did. Listen
Brittany
to
couldn't
me,
get on the
Miss
lease.
Hanson. Miss Hanson. They don't need an unemployed teenager to sign on the lease. Listen to me carefully. They don't need an unemployed teenager to sign on a lease in order for a landlord to say, oh, now they're really responsible because we have 3 teenagers, only one of whom has a job, maybe. That's not why they needed you to sign on, unless you had a job.
No, not the leasing company needed me to sign on. Taylor needed me to sign on the lease so she could get the apartment because Brittany couldn't get a co-signer, and I got a co-signer.
Who co-signed for you?
My mom.
Oh,
That's
great.
false.
Perfect.
I wouldn't have been able to get on the lease without a co-signer.
But she forged the co-signers.
That's
so.
not true at
Just
all.
to say, shh. Cute. They're cute. They should still be home and under somebody else's roof, but they're cute. Listen, you have to pay rent. You live in an apartment, you have to pay rent.
I totally agree.
Right, so you owe February and March's rent.
I didn't live there for March. She kicked me out at the beginning
No,
of March.
you lived there the first week in March.
Then I would have paid her the first week of March, that like day by day that I lived there, but they kicked me out of my house.
No, listen to me. I'm going to get to your counterclaim in a second.
Okay.
You may not be disappointed, but I have to explain to you that when you live in an apartment, you can't be a baby. And if you sign a lease and if you're supposed to pay rent, you say the first of the month you have to pay rent. And you don't take on the responsibility of an apartment unless you can afford it. Are you still living in the apartment?
Yes, I am.
Who lives there?
I found 2 roommates on Craigslist.
Are they okay?
Yeah, they're great.
Where is she living?
Eureka, I believe. California.
Okay, so she left.
Yes. She moved out at the beginning of April.
Okay, did she pay rent in February?
Yes.
She pay rent in March.
Yes. Yeah. She didn't pay right then, but she's paid me back.
So you covered it?
Yes.
For both of them?
Well, I covered it at the start of the month because she got her paycheck like the second week or something, so she didn't have it right then.
And what was everybody's share of the rent?
$250.
Okay. Now, you're going to tell me about your clothes.
Well, the day that they locked me out, told me that I couldn't come back.
Should have had your own key.
I had my own key. I let Brittany use it.
That's
She
your
didn't
problem.
have her own key.
No, that's your problem. You
Okay.
should have had your own key. Then nobody can lock you out.
I went and got my own key after that, after they locked me out for a day.
Fine. So you went and got your own key. So you weren't locked out.
Yeah, but that day that they locked me out, they told me that they were kicking me out. I couldn't live
Well,
there
they
anymore.
could have told you that, but that's
So
not true. They can't kick you out because you're on the lease.
Well, I didn't want to live there anymore after that anyway, because they were
Being rude to you.
Yeah, and they were bullying me.
Okay.
So
you moved
I
out.
went. So I went the next day to get my things, and I had to get a key from the leasing office. And my room had been gone through. Half of my closet was empty. He was there. He can vouch for me. I asked them for my things back. They had put locks on their doors, and they wouldn't give me anything back, and said that they didn't have anything. A couple weeks later, a friend of mine was showing me Brittany's MySpace pictures, and she was wearing my underwear on a photo of her topless and just in underwear, and they were mine.
You recognized your underpants?
Yeah.
You recognize your underpants?
They're like specialty kind. They're not just like regular white underwear. They're like, you can buy them from like a boutique.
Miss Davy, just for my own edification, did you put a picture of yourself?
Oh, me? No. I don't do that.
Who did? This one?
Brittany.
Raise your hand if you put up a naked picture of yourself.
I'm not
on-
naked. In the
What is
picture.
it?
I'm in underwear. They're my underwear. They're not her underwear. I don't know why she.
Why
thinks
would you
them
put...
they're her.
Stand up.
Why would she put underwear?
Please. Why would you put a picture of yourself on the internet in your underwear?
Photography thing. He wanted American Apparel looking pictures, and there was one in my underwear.
Very stupid.
Okay.
You live to regret that when you're 30, maybe even when you're 25. Have you done anything like that again?
No.
Yes. Before?
No.
Maybe. No. Just once?
No, well, there was more than one picture, but
Since then,
it's
you
not that
haven't?
big of a deal, I don't think.
It is a big deal. You have to think about what you're doing. There are all kinds of perverts and creepy people out there that sort of surf the internet looking for dumb young girls who put up pictures of themselves in their underwear or worse. Don't do it again.
Okay.
Sit down. You have any other proof that you took your clothes?
I don't really have proof that they took my clothes, but I have a list of some of the clothes that they took, and along with stealing my clothes, they posted things about me on the internet. Like, they made a couple websites about me, saying really, really horrible things. They've been harassing me. It's just showing what kind of people they are. They're not good girls. They're not good people. And they stole all my clothing, locked me out of my house,
Do you have
and
her
are
clothing?
harassing me for it.
No, I don't.
I don't know whether she does or whether she doesn't.
I have a pair of Roxy jeans and a pair of Gap jeans that were given to me by her because they were a size 5, which doesn't fit her.
That's not true. I never gave her any
Just a second.
clothes.
She wants them back.
She can have them.
They've
Great.
been denying that they've had anything this
I
whole
haven't
time.
been
Listen to me. I have no time or to have less patience for this. You owe her $500 for rent for February and March. You're going to send her back her 2 pairs of jeans and anything else you might find that belongs to her. Do you get it?
I do.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a happy life.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Elizabeth Rivera says her ex-boyfriend's girlfriend, Athena Hernandez, bit off the tip of her pinky finger during a fight. Athena is countersuing, claiming Elizabeth vandalized her truck.
Miss Rivera, the defendant is your ex-husband's current girlfriend.
Correct.
And according to your complaint, outside of school, an incident occurred where she attacked and assaulted you. You want to be compensated for that injury. It resulted in severe damage to a finger. Ms. Hernandez says you initiated this altercation by damaging her car. Fight ensued. You may have gotten the worst of the fight, but you started it. And she is counterclaiming for the damage that she alleges you did to her car that day, and also for the fact that she lost her job because of this incident and lost wages. That's your counterclaim.
Yes.
How long were you married to the ex-husband?
13 years.
Do Do you have children?
Yes.
How many?
2.
How old?
12 and 8.
What's his first name?
Jose.
When were you divorced?
I wasn't legally married. Common law.
Common law in what state?
New York.
There's no common law in New York unless it was before 1933. And from looking at you, you didn't live with him in 1933, so that you were never married to Jose.
No.
But you were together for 13 years.
Correct.
Come you never married him?
I wasn't ready to get married.
You were ready to have 2 children with him, but not get married.
Exactly.
I always understood that. It was always clear as a bell to me. When did you separate?
We were together 13 years, and we separated a couple of years ago, like maybe 4 years ago.
And when did you meet Jose? You have children with him?
Yes.
How many?
1.
How old?
6.
So you were with him when he was living with her?
No. According to me, he wasn't living with her.
Your child there's a 2-year age difference between your child and hers.
Yes.
How long have you been living together?
Going on 4 years.
Well, for the 4 years before that, where was he living?
In his own apartment.
Sounds like some bargain. What does Jose do for a living?
He's a broker, an insurance broker.
How long has he done that?
About maybe 6 years.
Does he make a living?
Yes, he does.
How much money does he earn?
About maybe 35, 36,000.
Does Jose pay child support?
No, he doesn't.
How do you support your children?
He provides for them.
How do you support your children?
He supports them.
How much does he send you?
He doesn't send me anything. If they was to need anything, he'll go buy it for them.
That's not supporting your children, Miss Rivera. Do you work?
No, I don't.
Well, who supports you? Is not an answer.
The city.
The state?
The state.
And how long have you been a recipient of state assistance?
About 19 years.
19 years. Well, that's the reason you didn't marry Jose.
Yeah.
That's the answer. I knew, you follow the money, you always get to the answer. That's a reason for not getting married. So Jose works as an insurance broker. The state pays for your 2 children, and Jose has another family. Who do you work for?
For myself.
What kind of work do you do?
Insurance broker.
For the same company?
Mm-hmm.
How long have you worked for them?
It's mine. It's an actual brokerage. I own my own brokerage.
Does he work for you?
Yes.
How long has he worked for you?
6 years.
Is he a paid employee or on commission?
No, he's a paid employee.
And what's the name of your company?
Popular Multi-Service.
Where are they located?
In the Bronx.
Perfect. The state of New York is going to send me a big gold star for this one. Now, tell me when this incident took place.
It took place on February 5th, 7:30 in the morning.
Tell me what happened, Miss Rivera.
Okay, I was taking my kids to school at 7:30 in the morning because they have to be inside by 8 o'clock. So as I'm approaching the school, I see Athena Hernandez coming out of the school. And then as I'm getting closer, she's running back in the school. So as I'm approaching inside the school, she's coming out. And she's coming out saying a smart remark.
Just tell me what she said.
She said, haha, I have a car.
Go ahead.
So I looked at her, I was like, come on, boys, let's keep on going inside. That's not necessary. So I gave them my blessings, I walked them inside, and then I stood about 10 minutes inside. I came out, she's still out there, parked in front of the school. She pulled down her window, she started cursing at me, and she spit at me. So I spit at her right back. And I continued walking home. As I continue walking home, I'm turning the corner, ready to cross the street. As I'm crossing the street, she turns the car in a one-way, she eats the stop sign, and she hits me with the car. I got surprised, I fell down. So as I'm getting up, she rushes out the car and she starts attacking me. So I'm trying to defend myself. So I'm trying to unzip my coat to put my hands up. So I finally took off my coat and she kept on attacking me, and then she snatched my coat, ran back in the car. So at that moment I was like, help, help, somebody, can I have a cell phone to call 911? I need to call 911. I'm being attacked. Somebody finally let me call. So I'm like, help, 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 please come. I'm being assaulted over here. So I see her rushing back out. She's like, calling your son? Who are you calling, huh? When I see her coming out, I pick up the stick to start her to see if the cops come. And I'm taking off my boots. And I'm like, leave it alone, leave it alone, leave me alone.
You're taking off your boots?
Yeah, because I had some boots up to my knees, and they were high, and they were tight, and I kept on falling. So to have my balance and protect myself, And I'm like, leave me alone already, leave me alone. The cops are coming, leave me alone. She was like, no. She smacks the stick out of my hand and she attacks me. And I feel somebody else behind me push me against the gate, and she just kept on hitting me, boom, 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 boom. And I kept on defending myself, and she bit my finger. And she said, ha, ha, look at your finger on the floor, and that's when the cops came. And I was just, it hurted so much, it was unbelievable.
So it was the tip of your pinky finger that she bit off?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Hernandez, tell me your version of the events.
Okay, my child and her 2 children attend the same school. It's not the first time that we see each other, but every time we see each other, she has something to say, whether it's indirect, under her breath, whatever. Usually I just let it go, you know, give her a, you know, smirk, whatever. This morning...
Let me stop you just for a second, just for my own information. Are you nice to Jose?
Yeah.
Are you nice to Jose?
Yes.
Because you said nice things about him before. You said if the kids need anything, he gets it for them. And I assume that you're still living with him, that you think he's a nice guy.
Correct.
And I assume you don't like her.
I don't have anything against her.
I assume you're not crazy about her because I believe that there is this underlying current of animus, anger, that the two of you have, and you're not crazy about her. Is that right?
That's correct.
And that I don't understand. You see, you look like 2 relatively normal women. Jose's the bad guy, not you. He was 2-timing you. He was 2-timing you. There's no question in my mind. So you all make up with Jose and fight with each other. 2 women fighting with each other when the bad guy is off doing what he's doing, maybe with somebody. Never can tell. That's his history. That just is so foolish to me. And you're not the first 2 women that I've seen do this kind of ridiculous fighting over some worthless piece of trash guy who doesn't support his children, lets the state do it, lived a lie for at least 4 years. Why do you look puzzled, madam?
Because according to what I know, the state supports her.
State supports the children unless he provides support through the court. The state supports her children. That's why she didn't marry him, or that's why he didn't marry her. They had a little extra cash. He's not going to have that extra cash anymore because they're going to attach his salary, which you just swore under oath that you paid him the last 6 years. They're going to go back and take it out for 6 years' worth of money. Let's move on with February 5th at 7:30 in the morning.
I'm getting out of my vehicle, dropping off my daughter. I run into school. It was freezing that day. As I'm leaving the school, she's entering the school with her 2 children. She tells her oldest son, I'm just effing showing off. I look at her, I said, you know what, why don't you just take your kids into school and shut up? I don't have effing time for this. I'm going towards my truck.
Nice talk in front of the children.
I go towards my truck.
Both of you, as a matter of fact. Because I absolutely believe that that happened.
First of all,
I go towards my truck. She puts her kids through, there's 1 door, 2nd door, leaves them in there, runs back out, starts taking off her coat, telling me I've been dying to kick your for the last 8 years. Get out of the truck. I'm in the truck and I'm laughing at her while she's taking off her clothes. Mind you, it's 8 degrees outside. Now she starts kicking my passenger door, gets in front of my truck, bangs on the hood. I'm honking the horn for her to get out of the way. I can't drive fast because there's parents dropping off their children, and we're in front of a school and they have speed bumps. If not, I would have went around and kept going. Couldn't do that. I went up, moved up a little, she moved over, right? As I'm going towards, there was a stop sign.
Just a minute. You have a big business?
It's a small business, not that big.
In case somebody has to reach you at your business when you're out with your child, how do they do that?
My cell phone.
Which works?
Which I didn't have.
I don't believe that. You don't walk out of the house in 8-degree weather in a car without your cell phone.
Your Honor, I didn't even have a bra on.
I don't care whether you had your bra. You may go out without a bra, but nobody goes out without their cell phone. So I don't believe that.
Okay.
Absolutely don't believe that you didn't have your cell phone. So if you have this nut banging on your car looking to fight with you, what is the last thing you do, Miss Hernandez? The last thing you do. You have a nutty person, takes off her coat in 8-degree weather, starts banging on your car, damaging your car. What is the last thing a woman does? Gets out of the car. So what I want to know is, how did her finger get bitten off if you stayed in the car?
I didn't stay in the car.
Why not?
Because she spit at me through the window.
First of all, why is the window open if it's 8 degrees outside?
Because
when it's 8 degrees outside, when I used to live in New York, the first thing I did was make sure those windows were up and the heat was on, not keep the windows down. So why, Miss Hernandez, were the windows down?
I rolled down the passenger window.
For what?
To curse her out and tell her to go home.
Got it?
Got it.
You have some crazy person who's attacked your car, who's hell-bent on attacking you. Why in the world would a businesswoman who has apparently a successful small business, so she's savvy, why would she get out of a car where she's safe to confront some lunatic?
Years.
Why would you do that?
Because I was tired of her. I was tired of her.
So you got out of the car to beat her up?
No, to return the favor.
Oh, no, 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 no. No, no, no. Don't believe that for a minute. Not for a second. I believe you got out of the car to beat her up. That's what you did. You got out of the car to beat her up. And Miss Rivera, there isn't a question in my mind that you attacked her car. Not a question in my mind that the situation happened exactly the way you told me it happened, with a few minor changes, that she beat you up because she was furious. And there isn't a question in my mind that she banged on your car before you got out of the car and beat her up. Now, who is this, by the way?
This is my son. He's been supporting me through my pain and suffering.
You wouldn't have had any pain and suffering if you hadn't started to rail on her car.
Your Honor, this has been going on for a long time.
Miss Rivera, I'm not interested in a long time.
She's been sending me letters through the mail and harassing me and everything.
Were you arrested?
Many years ago.
Arrested for this case?
Well, yes. Correct.
Were you arrested?
Yes.
For this case?
Yes.
And what happened when you went to court on this case, Miss Rivera? Because you were arrested, I assume, for either vandalism or harassment. What happened with that case?
They just gave me a fine of $95. They were going to give me a misdemeanor, but they saw that...
Don't tell me what they saw. You must have pled guilty if you had to pay a fine.
Yes, I did.
What did you plead guilty to?
To, vandalizing.
Right. There you go. That's exactly what I surmised happened. You vandalized her car, and you pled guilty to that in a criminal proceeding.
They didn't tell me it was for her vehicle. They just said it's for the...
For vandalizing. What did you think you were vandalizing? The snow?
Well, she
vandalizing her car.
Can't prove that I did anything.
Miss Rivera, you pled guilty in a criminal proceeding. Finished. It's over. Now, Miss Hernandez, you were arrested for assault.
Yes, that's correct.
And what happened with that case? Were you found guilty?
Yeah.
For assaulting her?
Yes.
Oh, this case is over. Wish I would have known that before we started. You have to pay for her injuries because you pled guilty to assaulting her.
She didn't pay for medical bills. The state did.
No, no, no. I'm not giving her a dime for her medical bills because she don't have any medical bills. But you assaulted her. She has to be compensated for that. And you have to pay for her truck because you started it.
Why would I have to pay? She don't have no evidence I did anything to her.
Oh, yes, she does. Because you pled guilty to vandalizing her truck. Now, you have pictures of the truck?
No, I have an estimate.
I'd like to take a look at it. And is that the finger that she bit?
Yes, and I have the estimate of my finger, too.
I don't need an estimate for your finger. You have Medicaid, is that correct?
Yes, I do, but Medicaid doesn't pay to fix my finger.
Nothing you
I
can
have
do
to estimate
There
on
is
that.
absolutely nothing you can do to fix your finger. Absolutely nothing. They cannot reattach it anymore.
Yes, they could. I have it here. What they're going to do to it and everything.
Listen to me. Not at this stage of the game. Now, you have any other children other than these two children?
I have one more, which is Jose.
That's it?
3 boys, yes.
His father is not Jose.
No.
How old are you?
20.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a sales associate at Macy's on 34th Street.
And
I go to college, John Jay.
Perfect. You get along with Jose?
Somewhat.
Smart. On your claim, Miss Rivera, I am awarding you for pain and suffering $1,500. I would have ordered more, except you precipitated this attack by vandalizing her car.
But she also...
I'm speaking. I'm ruling now. I heard you. I'm awarding you $800 on your counterclaim to fix your car, which I am deducting from her award. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Which means, Miss Rivera, $700, because I've deducted the $800 that she's getting for the truck. I'm speaking, and you get nothing, but you get your truck fixed. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
And I'm going to suggest, if you are two decent human beings, and you both made the mistake of falling for Jose, you put this animosity to rest. It should be over. You don't want him anymore. You got him for now. Maybe you won't have him in 5 years, but you got him for now. You may not be happy when they start taking money out of his pay. A whole bunch of money, because that's what they're going to do. That's what the state of New York's going to do. You can't escape your responsibility. If you make children, you have to support them. And is there any reason why you don't work? What are you looking over here for? Is there any reason why you don't work?
Yes, I don't work because my reading is not so great.
You don't have to read for every job.
If you can find me one, I'm willing to work.
It's not my job to look for a job for you, madam.
No one wants
You've
to
been on
really
welfare 19 years. It's time to move on. There are lots of jobs that you can do where you don't have to be able to read War and Peace. That's all. Step out.
We love your voice.
থ্যাংক ইউ।
তবে কিছুক্ষণ আগে আপনি একটি কথা বলছিলেন না যে আপনার কণ্ঠস্বর নিয়ে আপনি একটু হীনমন্যতায় ভুগতেন কিংবা ভাবতেন যে মানুষ কি বলবে, সেজন্য হয়তো ঠিকঠাকভাবে আপনি কথাও বলতেন না। বুলিং করতো কেউ সে সময় আপনার
হ্যাঁ, না
কণ্ঠস্বর নিয়ে?
ওরকম করে আসলে বুলিং না, আমি আমাদের এই গল্পটা আমার শুনেইছি আমার নাচের ক্লাসে, বুঝছো। আমার এখন স্কুলে এরকম ধরনের কথা আমাকে কেউ কখনো বলেনি। আমরা যারা স্কুলে একসাথে পড়ে বড় হয়েছি, এরকম কোনো বন্ধু আমাকে
নাচের ক্লাসে কেন? সেখানে তো ভয়েসের কোনো ইস্যু নেই।
আমি জানি না কেন নাচের ক্লাসে এমন একটা জায়গা আমাদের যে সব কিছু নিয়েই কিন্তু কথা হতো। আমাকে কিন্তু কেউ আমাকে ডাকা হতো কিন্তু লম্বি পেছনে গিয়ে দাঁড়া, এটা আমি এর আগেও তোমাদের একটা অনুষ্ঠান টক শোতে বলেছি। আর হলো ধুমসি, কিন্তু বাড়িতে কিন্তু কখনো এটা শুনিনি, বা আমার পরিবারের আমার ভাই বোনরা যারা বা স্কুলে যারা একসাথে বড় হয়েছে তারা কিন্তু কখনো এরকম করে বলেনি যে তোর গলাটা এরকম।
তবে আই হোপ আপনার সেই কনফিডেন্সটা এখন আর
আই হোপ তোমাদেরও এটা কেটেছে, কারণ কিছু মানুষ
শুধু কাটেননি। উই লাভ ইওর ভয়েস।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
যে 28 বছরের সংসার, মানে সবাই বলেছিল, সবাই না কেউ কেউ বলেছিল যে 6 মাসও টিকবে না, সেটাকে আপনারা সাকসেসফুলি 28 বছর রান করলেন এবং ইনশাল্লাহ শেষ দিন পর্যন্ত তাই থাকবে। এর রহস্যটা কি আসলে? আপনাদের সংসারটাকে আপনি কিভাবে ডিফাইন করতে চান?
প্রথম দিকে সংসার একরকম থাকে, আর পরে যখন বাচ্চা কাচ্চা হয়ে যায় তখন কিন্তু চিন্তা ধারা সব কিছু তোমার ওদেরকে কেন্দ্র করে হয়ে যায়। আমার সংসারও কিন্তু তাই। আমি যেরকম করে ভেবেছিলাম আমার সংসার হবে, ঠিক যে সেরকমটাই পেয়েছি তা কিন্তু না। হ্যাঁ, এক একজন মানুষের এক এক রকমের স্বপ্ন থাকে, চিন্তা থাকে, ধারণা থাকে, কিন্তু আমি ওইভাবে সত্যি কথা বলতে সিক্রেট আমি বলতেই পারবো না। কখন যে এতগুলো দিন পার হয়ে গেছে আমার জীবনের আমি জানিই না। আমি সেদিনই আমার খালা, মেজো খালাকে আমরা, মানে আমার বড় খালা আমরা মাসি ডাকি, আমি তার কাছে দুপুরবেলায় আমি আর আমার মেয়ে গেছি সময় কাটাতে, লাঞ্চ টাঞ্চ করতে। তা আমি মাসিকে বলছিলাম গল্প করে যে আচ্ছা মাসি, আমি তো সেদিন ছোট ছিলাম, এখন আমার মেয়েটা এত বড় হয়ে গেছে, কবে হয়ে গেছে আমি বুঝতে পারিনি। আর খালি মনে পড়ে আমি 20-21 বছর মার কাছে ছিলাম, ওইটুক স্মৃতিটাই আমার মনে পড়ে, আমি যতটুকু কাজ করেছি বা কিছু। আমার সংসার করার খুব অল্প দিনের মধ্যে আমার পুষ্পিতা হয়ে যায়, এবং তারপরে সময়টা এত দ্রুত চলে গেছে, আমাকে যদি তুমি জিজ্ঞেস করো কিভাবে আমি কি করেছি আমি বলতেই পারবো না।